based on existing figures that show the difference in cost between private health care and the Medicare system in place for those age 65 or over. It finds that there are huge cost savings that can be made by switching to socialized health care. A federal judge dismissed the claims of Houston residents seeking to hold the government liable for flooding their homes with Hurricane Harvey stormwater released from 2 dams, finding there is no constitutional right to perfect flood control. Activist Post reports U.S. Court of Federal Claims Judge Lauren Smith's order on Tuesday came the same day the WeatherWise magazine published a study naming Hurricane Harvey the most extreme storm of the 2010s, responsible for $108 billion in property damage and 82 deaths. Harvey stalled over the Houston area for 4 days in August 2017, swamping neighborhoods and freeways and forcing people to evacuate in chest-deep water as first responders and Good Samaritans rescued others in boats, and Coast Guard crews threw down rope ladders from helicopters for those who had climbed onto their roofs to escape the rising water. Support for the Liberty Beat is brought to you by the Homestead Guru. The Homestead Guru is an educational website offering tips, tools, news, stories, and commentary on everything homesteading. Topics include green homes, gardening, animal husbandry, do-it-yourself, home remedies, alternative energy, survivalism, unschooling, and more. Those details are found online at thehomestead.guru. This is the Liberty Beat, powered by the SNLS Network at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
Congressman Hanford, you're married, 2 beautiful children, and yet you texted nude photographs to a 23-year-old staffer. Why did you do it?
I wanted her to see my penis. I was hoping the penis photo would arouse her sexually, that she might think, that's a nice penis. I will respond with an offer to have sex with the penis, or maybe send a photo of my breasts. I would like that. And that's what I was hoping would happen.
Here's what intrigues so many people. Why would a promising, successful politician take such a big risk?
I knew I could let down my family, destroy my marriage, and damage the country that I love, but on the other hand, if there's even the small chance of getting off at any time, you gotta take it.
The big question. Do you plan to resign?
No, I'm very good at my job. Plus, it's a lot harder to get women to have sex with you when you're not a congressman.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
Hey, it's Free Talk Live, and it is the live Sunday edition of the program. As always, you're invited to join us. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE, like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. We've got the Discord call-in line rooms over at discord.lrn.fm, so feel free to join us there. With you in the studio tonight, it's Ian,
Richie Rich,
and Melanie.
All right, so lots of stuff to talk about here, and we're going to start with your story tonight, Melanie. I mean, you didn't write this, but it's from Vice. You brought it in to share with us about feminism and the family. So what is it that we need to know? Apparently they want to abolish families now?
Yeah, so the title of the article is "We Can't Have a Feminist Future Without Abolishing the Family."
And this is serious.
They're not wrong. They just went the other way with that than I would.
What do they have to? I mean,
wait, so they're not wrong?
No, they're not wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to have to hear this because I just don't even understand what families have or don't have to do with feminism. What is it, the connection, or why?
Well, if you have to stay home and raise your kids, then you can't go try to be CEO of Shell Oil.
Oh, but wait.
Even though you have no experience or.
But wait, haven't they ever heard of Mr. Mom? I mean, where the dad stays home?
Well, no, but then you're just trying to feminize men, see, and make them take that role. We want to be all equal.
What about same-sex couples? Could one not stay home and, one female of a lesbian couple stay home while the other one runs Shell Oil?
I don't know.
Would that be too masculine for the CEO?
Maybe this article was just what do you call it? Gayphobic or whatever.
Yeah, okay. Homophobic?
Yeah, that.
Gayphobic. Yeah, it works. All right, so what's the story? Go ahead.
Yeah, so they say a little more than 2 weeks before I planned to meet the feminist theorist Sophie Lewis, her mother died. She had been diagnosed with stage 4 cancer in March, requiring Lewis to travel back and forth between her home in Philadelphia and a hospital in the UK, a journey she technically wasn't allowed to make due to the pending status of her green card. But it's UK, so they don't really care that much in my experience.
For the green card?
Yeah.
Oh, they're Brexit now, so they need everything to get in and
No,
out of
but
that country.
to the US.
Oh, okay.
When her mother passed away late in November, she did so thousands of miles away while Lewis and her brother sang the Taylor Swift song Safe and Sound to her over Skype. I don't know what that song's about.
Me neither. Must have meant something to them, though.
I guess. Earlier that month, at a lecture in Lower Manhattan hosted by the arts journal Eflux, Lewis, who is 31, reflected on what some might see as an obvious irony in her crisscrossing the ocean to care for her ailing mother. Verso Books had just published her first book, Full Surrogacy Now, a polemic that calls for abolishing the family. It says, 2019, in addition to its more general geopolitical ghoulishness, has been a difficult one for this particular family abolitionist.
A polemic is a controversial argument. So, just so you know.
Okay.
I didn't know what it was. I had to look it up, but I knew how it was pronounced.
I usually do the opposite.
Yeah.
Because I can read and look up words, but I don't necessarily hear anything.
I think Jeffrey Tucker once said, don't make fun of people who mispronounce words because they learned it by reading as opposed to hearing it.
Okay.
So it's not necessarily a sign of unintelligence because they're readers.
I wasn't making fun.
No, I'm just saying.
Okay, just to clarify.
Yeah.
So who wrote this article that was controversial? The woman whose mother
died
okay.
while the mother was in the UK and the woman was in the US.
And the irony is that she had to take care of or was trying to take care of the mother while at the same time writing a book to abolish the family.
I see. Okay, got it. Tell me more.
Lewis told the audience of about 24, it's been surreal because the temporal coincidence of the full surrogacy launch with this unprecedented requirement for me that I be at my closest bio-relative's bedside, her words, brought the stakes of my subject matter to life with almost unbearable intensity. It's
quite a sentence.
I don't know. That's a pretty harsh, I don't know what this woman's mother did.
So she's saying she didn't want to be there with her mom? Is that what she's saying? She was there, but she didn't want to be?
No, she's just
Sounds
acknowledging that that's ironic.
It sounds like the opposite.
Oh, okay.
She wanted to be there after
writing this book.
After writing the book, saying yeah, no, you shouldn't. Right? What was the term?
Bio-relative.
My closest bio-relative.
Yeah, she's not my mom. She's my bio-relative.
Sanitized way to possibly say that.
Aren't all relatives bio-relatives?
Oh, you could have step relatives.
No, you could have, and you can have adoptive relatives.
Okay.
The book and its core its core premise has gained widespread attention from leftist publications like Jacobin and The Nation, all the way to Fox News' Tucker Carlson, who dedicated a June segment on his primetime show to tearing it down. Recently, the columnist David Brooks declared in The Atlantic that, quote, the nuclear family was a mistake. The piece inspired a niche version of a popular Drake meme with a singer shaking his head in disapproval at Brooks' column in one frame and smiling at Full Surrogacy Now in the next.
What's the alternative to the nuclear family? Because
full-on pure communism.
Okay, well, I don't.
And they admit that later on.
I don't agree or disagree that the nuclear family is a mistake because you can have a very disruptive nuclear family, very abusive, right? And in that case, probably a mistake, right? There's probably a better familial situation to put you in.
Well, that doesn't mean the nuclear family was a mistake. That probably just means you should pick your partners better. But it has nothing that so if you have a employee who never shows up. That doesn't mean the concept of employees is a mistake.
Do I not know what the nuclear family was? I thought that was like a mom, dad, and 2.4 kids or something like that.
Yeah, so
or just mom and
the
dad
parents
and the kids.
Yeah.
Okay, but I thought it had to be like 2 kids for it to be a nuclear family.
No.
There's no limit on the number of children?
No.
So nuclear just means mom and dad and kid or kids?
Yes.
Okay. Well, it doesn't seem like to call that a mistake is like calling evolution a mistake. I mean, it wasn't a choice that most people made to have children. They just have sex and kids come out of that.
Right.
Some people intend to have children. Plenty of people have no intention whatsoever. They just wanted to get their rocks off, and they ended up with kids. Now, what percentage of kids are planned versus unplanned? I don't know, but I suspect a large portion of children are completely unplanned. So the nuclear family is just the sort of the natural way of things. It's not a mistake.
Well, natural in some respects, because in like child rearing in olden times, right, was partially the responsibility of grandparents because they were still around to help the mother.
In the olden times, grandparents were a little bit. People got older at younger ages, if that makes any sense. So they weren't still, young and living their life. They were decrepit and being taken care of. And so, yeah, they stayed at the house and stayed for free and provided some child care.
Yeah.
I don't know how widespread that was historically, though.
All right, so Camel Toe in our chat room says the nuclear family means no grandparents or other relatives living in the same house, like culture for thousands of years beforehand. Okay, so then the nuclear family is something that is specific to certain cultures, because there are in some places, I think Europe is sort of known for having families live together, at least to some extent. At least that's what I've heard. I've never actually lived there, but that's what I've heard. It's a more economical choice. Hawaii as well. Yeah, it's a more economical choice for people. It's sensible.
Yeah, I don't think that the nuclear family, quote, prohibits you having your grandparents live there. Or
okay, well, that's what Camel Toe said. So
yeah, and even if it did somehow, which I disagree with that statement, but even if that was the case, nobody's arguing for kicking your grandparents out. They're arguing for completely dissolving society. So
we haven't gotten to that yet, but I would like to hear that. I'd like to hear that part. We haven't gotten there yet, so we'll share that with you coming up here. Vice is against the family,
the nuclear family.
Are they just against the nuclear family, or are they against all family? Toll-free number here is 855-450-FREE. Melanie will share that with us, 855-450-3733. You can bring up what you want. Take control of the airwaves here. This is Free Talk Live.
Don't miss this year's LibertyCon with great speakers like Whole Foods CEO John Mackey, Congressman Justin Amash, and Nobel Prize winner Vernon Smith. Attend 2 spectacular debates. Is government necessary, and does capitalism require government intervention? Network with over 70 pro-liberty organizations. This and a whole lot more. April the 3rd through the 5th in Washington, D.C. Visit LibertyCon.com and use code FTL for a $10 discount on LibertyCon.com.
Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com.
Gold has definitely been on the move recently, and there is no more secure investment historically. McIlvaney ICA has been helping people take delivery of precious metals and find storage options for decades. They've helped thousands of investors with their precious metal IRAs. Call ICA today for your free portfolio review at 800-525-9556 or download their free report online at ICAGoldSilver.com to learn how you can double your gold and silver ounces even within an IRA. 800-525-9556. ICAGoldSilver.com.
The next generation wallet is coming from Divvy. In just a few taps, you'll be able to send, earn, spend, and exchange digital money in seconds. Send money around the globe with only a swipe. Instantly exchange between Divvy, Bitcoin, and fiat right in the mobile app and withdraw directly to your bank account. Divvy already offers the first one-tap solution for earning passive income with crypto. Multi-tiered masternodes allow everyone to partake in the network. Visit DivvyProject.org. DivvyProject.org.
So the protection of life, liberty, and property is what the Free State Project is all about. But it's an effort to move 20,000 people who understand.
It's about demonstrating to the entire country
that, yeah, we can have a free market, a truly free market.
Making it just a freer, great place to live.
It's the world's largest voluntarist libertarian community, and it's only getting bigger.
That's amazing, to be able to move to a place where other people passionately believe in being free and independent.
What the Free State Project is managing to do, though, is to put their money where their mouth is. It's physically getting up across the country and saying, let's go someplace and let's demonstrate the power of these ideas. There's a lot of kind of philosophy that surrounds liberty. There's a lot of thinking about it and talking about it. But here in New Hampshire, people are doing it.
101 Reasons Liberty Lives in New Hampshire, a documentary by Free State Project early movers. Watch it free at 101reasonsfilm.com. 101reasonsfilm.com. There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and our main feed that includes everything. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com.
There are basically two types of advertising, direct response and branding. Radio's great for direct response with its low cost to listener ratio, but audio can't be beat for branding, which is a longer term endeavor. You want to be the first thing that someone thinks of when they think about your product or service. If you have a local business that you want kept top of mind in your community, call the station. If you need national reach, Free Talk Live's got around 200 radio stations, millions of monthly listening sessions, can suit all budgets, and if we don't think we're right for you, we'll tell you. Email me, mark@freetalklive.com.
Help get LRN.FM into more ears. Visit promote.lrn.fm for a free bumper sticker, flyers, banners, graphics, and more. Promote.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live. You may join us here. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. And I do want to welcome our brand newest radio affiliate, WAIM Radio, 1230 AM in Anderson, South Carolina. Welcoming them as our newest Sunday night affiliate, and they are a live affiliate, so if you're in Anderson, welcome to the show. As I understand it, we might have been on for the last week or so, but I just got informed that that they are on board now, and so good to have you out there. If you are new to this program, as many of you probably are, you've probably already figured out that we're not quite your typical talk radio program. We're not hosted by liberals or conservatives. We're libertarians. We're people that love freedom, voluntarists. Some might describe themselves as anarchists.
I'll take it.
You will.
I am.
There you go.
Okay. I'm in the minority tonight as the only voluntarist in the room.
I'll use that term too, Bob.
No, I don't identify that way, but it is an accurate descriptor of myself.
I see. You like the controversial description.
Well, I think that there is a little bit of a divide in other areas for people who pick one term or the other. So I use the term that fits me better, but it's not inaccurate.
So we're talking about the family tonight. A story from Vice magazine or Vice News or whatever they're called, vice.com, that is criticizing the idea of the family. And we've just barely scratched the surface of it. We'll get into it further here. And are you 100% sure you're going to have a great retirement, or do you have some doubt about that? Tom Young is the author and founder of the CFO Project, and he can show you how to be debt-free in 9 years or less, including your mortgage, without spending a single dollar more. With the current state of the federal debt at $23 trillion and the unfunded liabilities at $127 trillion, you can't wait to take control of your money. Don't let your retirement savings be used to bail out the government. Instead of building a plan, Tom can show you how to create strategies now to save money without penalties and as little government involvement as possible. His new book, The Family Money Farm, The CFO Project, will show you exactly how to build wealth and eliminate debt at the same time. Get your free copy now at cfo-project.com. Invest in yourself and your family today. Get your free copy of The Family Money Farm, The CFO Project, at cfo-project.com. So, Melanie, continue with Vice.com and what apparently is going to be an attack on the family. Just to summarize, the story has been about a woman who is an author. She wrote a book that is anti-family. She had her mother die, and she ended up going to the hospital to be at her side at the end.
Yeah, across the ocean, yes.
And that's sort of where we're starting here.
Yeah, so then he said that the nuclear family was a mistake. The piece inspired a niche version of a popular Drake meme with the singer shaking his head in disapproval at Brooks' column in one frame and smiling at full surrogacy now in the next. That seems a little bit contradictory to me, but okay. I gave up after 2 minutes, admittedly.
Gave up after 2 minutes. What did she give up after 2 minutes?
It doesn't say,
okay.
But let it be known that I, incredulous, started reading it. Lewis tweeted of the Atlantic piece, like, have we
the
reached
counter article.
David Brooks? I don't
She
know
read like 2 minutes of the counter argument.
Somebody who wrote an article against
right,
her.
against the book.
Apparently didn't have enough space in Twitter to write the full
Got it.
sentence.
Okay.
When Lewis demands full surrogacy now, she isn't talking about commercial surrogacy or surrogacy trademark, as she puts it. Instead, she uses the surrogacy industry to build the argument that all gestation is work because of the immense physical and emotional labor it requires of those who do it. She often refers to pregnancy as an extreme sport. I mean, we used to have a setup to deal with that fact, but y'all wanted to go and abolish it, so.
This is bizarre. The way that she's reading it almost kind of reminds me of the movie Demolition Man, right? Where like no one has sex, babies are just like made in the lab somewhere. Like, oh, your job function is the surrogate. You're the person in society that makes the babies for everyone else to adopt, kind of thing.
I love Demolition Man. It's a great movie.
It is a great movie. But that's what this is reminding me of, right? Like the surrogates having the babies as opposed to the family structure creating their own.
So wait, she advocating for surrogacy? Is that the
No,
deal?
she's using that, I guess, kind of as a metaphor. Like she doesn't presumably think that we should just go make all babies in a lab and use like literal surrogates. But she's using that, according to her, to point out that having kids is work.
I mean, it doesn't sound like an easy task. I mean, it does seem kind of burdensome to have a child, so.
I mean, we used to have a setup where you would get compensated for that. So.
You mean as a surrogate, or
as
a mom?
Someone
would get
having, well, as a mom.
How would a mom get compensated for having a child?
Well, you would have a husband, and he would like bring you money.
Oh, okay. Well, that's
the family provider.
Gotcha. Okay.
If all forms of pregnancy count as work, we can take a clear-eyed look at our current working conditions. It is a wonder we let fetuses inside us, she says at the start of her book, which is not how that works, okay? It's not like you're not just like laying in one bed one day and like a fetus just crawls into your
How did that happen?
bedroom and it's like you're sleeping and the fetus just crawls up in there. It's like, no, you made it. You actually created it.
Not only does the stork deliver the fetus, it inserts it as well.
Citing the roughly 1,000 people in the United States who still die as a result of pregnancy and childbirth each year, mostly poor women and women of color, which tells me, the poor part anyway, that that's more of a patient compliance issue than it is a medical technology issue.
You mean the patient's not doing what they're told?
Yeah, whether because they can't or... Because when they tell you things like, okay, don't lift anything over 20 pounds from here on out, and you have a job you have to go to, you're not going to do that, right? Or if they tell you to buy a medicine that you can't afford.
That makes sense.
The situation is social, not simply, quote, natural. I mean, actually, the natural death rate in childbirth is a lot higher than that.
You mean in less developed nations?
Well, either in less developed nations or historically before modern medicine.
Well, right.
It's really high. Humans are really, really bad at it. We evolved sapiens before we evolved breeding out people who can't give birth well. Things are like this for political and economic reasons. We made them like this. Well, yeah, we made them like they are, but
the we as a society?
That was an improvement. Yes.
Okay.
That was an improvement on the original condition. It's a large improvement on the original condition. There's 300 million people in the U.S.
Right. They said only 1,000 die from complications every year.
Yeah.
So how many millions of babies are born every year, you know?
Yeah, that sounds like less than 1% to me. I haven't...
Yeah, so I can look into it. Go ahead.
And so we can also make them different, Lewis argues. She imagines a future where the labor of making new human beings is shared among all of us, quote, mother, no longer being a natural category, but instead something we can choose. So there's this meme with this girl who posted, I wish we could choose our baby daddies. And then somebody's responding to her.
I've seen it.
Somebody talk to her because I'm about to hurt her feelings.
Because you can.
And that's kind of how this sentence makes me feel.
By the way, 3.79 million live births in the United States in the year 2018 estimated. So the toll-free number here, 855-450-FREE. So yeah, 1,000 is way less than 1% of that. There's more coming up. You can join us. 855-450-3733.
Do you want more businesses accepting Bitcoin Cash and Dash? Now, with AnyPay, you earn passive income for every purchase at those businesses. Finally, a financial incentive to spread Bitcoin Cash and Dash. You made it happen, so you receive the rewards. Download the AnyPay Cash Register app and add your cryptocurrency wallet addresses. Then, install it at a real-life business and tell us what you did at AnyPayInc.com. AnyPayInc.com.
Free Talk Live is now on more than 200 radio stations nationwide. We've had more than 18 million podcast downloads, and we claim millions of listens a month. We're a multimedia ad venue with print, email, web, and terrestrial radio marketing platforms. We strive to have ad packages that cater to advertisers big and small. Contact me today at marketfreetalklive.com to see what we can do for you. Marketfreetalklive.com. If you're a local advertiser, contact this station. But if you can service a national audience, contact me, marketfreetalklive.com.
You can't win if you don't enter, and you actually can improve your chances of winning a prize drawing if you wrinkle up your entry blank. I'm Holland Cook from survivalspeech.com, and I speak from experience. Why this works: if they'll be spinning the drum before drawing, your entry blank will move around more than, and not adhere to, other perfectly flat entry blanks. And if they don't spin the drum and merely reach into a box full of other perfectly flat entry blanks, many of which are sticking together, yours will feel different to the person reaching in. When you win, act surprised. And if you're looking for work, this is a metaphor. For more tips on sticking out in a world where just too much blends into the blah, 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 hit survivalspeech.com. I'm Holland Cook.
What do you shop for that you could otherwise buy at Amazon? Pretty much everything, right? Amazon has competitive pricing and they deliver, and that's a big plus. If you could plan ahead in your shopping, would you be interested in saving up to 33%? There's a catch. You have to do your shopping in Bitcoin. But imagine those savings. It's like a huge raise. All you have to do is go to saveitpurse.com. We've saved thousands, and you can too. Plan ahead and save. Saveitpurse.com. What if you want to hear the latest episode of Free Talk Live, but all you have is your phone, you forgot to download our archive, and you have no data connection? You can call our Listen line at 641-793-0191. That's a long-distance number, so you may incur charges. If not, listen as long as you want. 641-793-0191. The Free Talk Live Listen line, 641-793-0191.
Free Talk Live.
But we have the opportunity. No one has the opportunity.
Look, just hold on. Just because the slaves can pick the head slave doesn't mean that the slaves are free.
Oh, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Look, if people actually got up and voted for things, there might actually be some change.
People do actually get up and vote for things, and change always results in the same crap.
What are you going to do that's different by voting?
Two choices between crap sandwiches, man.
You're speaking out of both sides of your mouth. On the one hand, you're saying, oh, hardly anybody votes, so you can barely say this is a person of right. And then I said, well, gosh, if people get up and vote, maybe things will change.
Hold on, that was only one thing he brought up.
Here's what I mean.
When people do vote, it doesn't make any difference because of a number of reasons.
will never vote in numbers that could actually reflect what.
Why should I vote for any of these thugs? They're killers. They're murderers.
Free Talk Live, 7 nights a week from 7 to 10 Eastern. Live on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM. Some of our live shows are streamed in HD on Twitch. Please follow and share at twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live. You're invited here to join us. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE. Abolishing the family. That's the proposal by somebody over at Vice magazine. Now, there's the author of the Vice story, which is different from the author that the Vice story is talking about, right?
Yes.
Okay, because it's kind of a confusing mess of a story so far. It's hard to kind of follow what's actually being
For an author,
said
it's
here.
very poorly written.
Yeah. So I'm glad we were able to stop down and kind of talk about it here as it goes on. We're going to continue with that, but also I want you to know the next generation wallet is coming from Divvy. In just a few taps, you'll be able to spend, earn, store, and exchange digital money in seconds. Divvy says you'll be able to send money around the globe in only a swipe and instantly exchange between Divvy, Bitcoin, and fiat currencies like the dollar right in their mobile app and withdraw directly to your bank account. There's no need to wait, though, as Divvy already offers the first one-tap solution for earning passive income with their multi-tiered masternodes, allowing anyone to earn by supporting the Divvy network. When the new Divvy wallet launches, because of Divvy's relationship with Western Union, Divvy will be in 200 countries, including the United States. You can learn more at divvyproject.org. That's divvyproject.org. We're going to go to the phones here because you can call in about anything you want, but Melanie will continue with the piece that you brought in here tonight in moments. Jerome is on the line in South Carolina listening to WTMA in Charleston. Hello, Jerome.
Yes. I heard that they're going to have a debate here. I heard it through the grapevine. I don't know how true it is or not. But I heard that Gayle King's going to be doing an interview with Tim Scott.
Who?
You know, the black Republican in the Senate.
Never heard of him.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, never heard of him.
No, I don't pay attention to politicians. I don't care about them.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. You don't vote either, right?
No, I vote on like local elections. Richie doesn't vote. I don't know about Melanie.
Yeah, I mean, I don't pay attention to elections in places I don't live and can't vote in.
Yeah, I find politicians to be despicable, so I tend not to pay attention to anything they do. During an election season like, the presidential election, it's inevitable that we're going to hear about some of this stuff. But yeah, don't expect me to know any of these political names. Go ahead.
Well, hey, you were talking about politicians. I've heard them.
No, we weren't. We were talking about the family. Huh?
Hey, I've heard them speak very highly of talk show hosts too. You know what?
They wouldn't speak highly of this show.
There's no elected representative that would speak highly of us.
Yeah, we tend to despise politicians here on Free Talk Live, so I doubt that many of them would speak highly of us if they knew we existed.
Cocas 2020, man.
I was joking, okay? It was a joke.
Gotcha. Sorry.
But the other, I just want her to know, I don't want her to do like one of them softball kind of deals like they did with Trump in the Senate, okay? Where they don't have any witnesses, no testimony, no documents. We just go along with what the guy in the White House tells us to do, okay? I want her to call him out just like she called out R. Kelly and R. Kelly, the entertainer.
So, sorry, you're saying you want her to call him out?
This is the reporter that's going to be interviewing the politician.
But who is it? Who's the reporter?
Gayle King. She's Oprah's friend.
King?
You know who she is.
Nope.
No, I'm sorry. I've heard of Oprah.
Man,
I know who she is.
Man.
Is she local? Is she local to the Carolinas, or is she like a national talk show?
She's like she works for CBS their early show.
Okay, I don't get up.
You got to get out more often.
I don't watch television
you're
either.
Younger than me.
That's true.
Look, you're younger than me, man. You got to get out more often, man.
How would getting out more often? By the way, I was out tonight. No, actually, I was. No, sir, I was out tonight with Richie. We were having some burgers.
We were socializing with the rest of the antisocials.
But getting out, just because you go out doesn't mean you will encounter information about political people. I mean, if you're out, you're just out.
And you're not going to see the early morning CBS show if you're out either.
Right.
Look, I just want her to call him out. Like, ask her about when Trump said he likes to grab women by the hoo-ha.
Thank you for not saying it. I appreciate that.
And being a celebrity. Ask him about how he said, I could stand on the New York street corner and shoot someone, and I wouldn't lose any support, okay?
You should tweet her this information, because we're not going to pass the information on to her.
No, ask him about when Putin said, "Are you
Jerome's
happy
fantasy
that Trump
interview.
won?"
Yeah, I mean, I
Ask
agree.
him.
If you're interviewing a politician, you should actually perform an interview and not just sit down
Ask him
and
hard
chill
questions.
with them.
Yeah, I agree that. Yeah.
But we're
ask
not going to
him
get to
about-
interview Trump, and this woman is not going to listen to us about how we think Trump should be interviewed.
Right. I think he just wants to vent, and that's fine. You can totally vent. Go
Ask
ahead,
him
Jerome.
Ask him about when they asked Putin, "Are you glad Trump won?" He said, "Oh yeah." Ask him about when he was saying, "Hey, Russia, if you're listening, could
Why
you
is
give
that
us
even a
some help?"
problem? Right?
Wait, what? The
Ask
Russia
him
thing?
about
Why is it a problem that foreign leaders have a favorite politician? Right? Like if we're looking at the elections in other countries, right? And there's like a capitalist that will trade with America freely, or a socialist that will cut off all trade. Would the American people or the American politicians not have a preference of which elected official is going to do business with America over the others?
Sure they would.
And if so, what's wrong with expressing that?
Jerome is unhappy about it. That's why.
That's fine.
Ask him about when he said what he meant when he said he's the best president for the Jews. Ask him about the talk show host guy who said he doesn't know why Jews still support the Democratic Party.
Is this Chris
that
Cantwell?
They've done nothing for Jews.
Is he out?
Ask him about that. Okay, Gail, if you're out there
I
listening,
highly doubt
ask him about those things. Ask him, Gail.
Jerome,
I'm waiting on you.
Here's what I want to know:
Yeah.
is what is it going to take to get you on our Discord server? Because I think that would be really, really interesting to have you there.
Hey,
do you have the internet?
You just tell me how to get there, and I'll be there.
All right. Do you have the internet?
No. Hey, man,
shoot.
look. You think you're out of touch? I just bought a smartphone about 6 months ago.
Okay, then you've got the internet.
I used to have a regular flip phone, but then I decided I needed to upgrade.
All right, you're in the 21st century. Congratulations.
Go to the App Store, download the Discord app.
Yeah, you download the Discord app from either your Play Store or App Store, depending on whether you get a Google or iPhone. And then, download the Discord app. You'll create an account, and then you just go on your web browser. You type in discord.lrn.fm. And you press enter or go or whatever it is, and then it'll pop you right into our server. Jerome, thanks.
Let me ask you one
And I
other
think
thing.
Christy
Can I ask
Chen
you
is
one
in
other
there, so
thing?
you can like talk to her in the Discord chat and let her know what you want her to ask Trump.
What was the other question? Hello? Hey, man, I didn't do that, by the way. He hung up the phone. I think he thought we were gone or something. I don't know. We'll hear from him again, I'm sure, next weekend. Thanks, Jerome. Toll-free number here, 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. Yeah, Free Talk Live, again, our new listeners in Anderson, South Carolina, listening to WAIM. There's a lot of people out there who expect all talk shows to be, like, in the loop with all the political goings-on, and, like, I got all kinds of better things to do with my day than pay any attention whatsoever. Okay, I can tell you Bernie won Nevada, but that's about all I can tell you as far as like any recent political developments are concerned. I know just the very top layer, the most basic, next to zero about
It's like pop culture.
what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you should keep up with what is going on in your local jurisdiction because you can possibly have some effect on that.
Possibly.
Maybe, maybe not.
Yeah.
But it's definitely going to affect you. But who's senator in Wyoming? Like, I have absolutely nothing to do with that.
You don't watch the CBS morning show every morning to get all this political information?
No, I do not sit around on my chair for 2 hours
Make
watching
some
the
coffee,
morning
sit
show.
back and watch morning television. God, that sounds awful. You ever seen the Onion episodes where they make fun of those shows, those morning shows?
I've probably seen a clip or two, but I couldn't offhand.
So they've got a really great parody called Today Now.
Okay, yeah, I've seen some of those.
Yeah, Today Now. And so there's like these hosts that are always laughing and smiling, and of course there's all this dark material that they're dealing with usually when they're on the air, and it's hilarious. I mean, just good stuff. So check that out on the Onion's YouTube channel. What the sad thing about the Onion is they've like let their YouTube channel fall into disarray. There's very little that has been uploaded there in like the last couple of years. They just started uploading.
Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe they're getting away from the monolith of YouTube and moving the content elsewhere. No?
No,
just not producing
I don't think
content.
So. Yeah, I don't
Okay.
think maybe they had a budget cut or something like that. They can't afford to do it anymore or whatever. But they used to have some like really high quality, well produced, funny stuff. And I went and looked the other day just because I take the Onion's videos. I've been taking them over the last several years and cutting them from 3 or 4 minutes, as long as they are online, to 1 minute, so they're the length that I can run during the commercial breaks here. So we've got like 400 of these things, and so I went to go and look and see if there was any new ones for the last year, and there really wasn't anything. Sad stuff. And the writing there isn't as good as it used to be. 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. You can bring up what you want here. It's Free Talk Live.
Do the letters IRS give you anxiety? I'm Dan Pilla. I've defended people from the IRS for more than 40 years. My book, How to Get Tax Amnesty, created the tax resolution industry and is responsible for helping hundreds of thousands of people. It can help you too. If you're a non-filer or facing IRS enforcement right now, your case is unique. You need real help, not cookie-cutter advice. My clients get my personal attention. Buy my book at danpilla.com and get a free consultation directly with me. That's danpilla.com. Let's start solving your tax problem right now.
Warning. If you're drowning in debt you can't afford, do not let the credit card companies trick you into thinking that you have to pay it all back, because you don't. What the credit card companies don't want you to know is that there's actually a way to get debt-free without paying off your entire debt or going bankrupt. If you have $10,000 or more in credit card debt, you now have the right to let us settle that debt for a fraction of what you owe. For free information, call Credit Associates now. 1-800-976-1460. We'll even show you how much money you could save. If you can't afford to pay off all your debt, do not let the credit card companies trick you into thinking that you have to. Call Credit Associates now for free information on how to get debt-free faster than you ever thought possible without debt consolidation or bankruptcy. We depend on your success and offer a guarantee, so there's no risk. For free information, call now. 1-800-976-1460. That's 1-800-976-1460. 1-800-976-1460.
Would you like to get back that full head of hair from years past? Now, there is Reveal. Beverly Hills celebrity dermatologist Dr. Nathan Newman took nearly a decade to develop Reveal from natural botanicals to return to a full-body head of hair. Reveal for men and women with a 30-day money-back guarantee at gcnlife.com or toll-free 844-443-6637. 844-443-6637. Reveal at gcnlife.com.
The political world is a maddening cesspool of corruption and lies. Nobody tells the truth. Nobody keeps campaign promises. Nobody obeys the Constitution. Nobody puts the people first. How can we ever escape this web of tyranny? Vote for nobody.
Hi, my name is Nobody. I'm running for governor of New Hampshire because nobody knows how to live your life better than you do, and nobody deserves that kind of power. I want to put you back in control of your money, your lifestyle, your work, your body, and your life. Nobody should rule you but you. New Hampshire convicts many people of so-called crimes that should never have been prosecuted. If elected, I will pardon every victimless crime in New Hampshire history. This includes drug, gambling, prostitution, gun, and driving offenses. Nobody should have a criminal record when they have not harmed anybody.
Wouldn't it be nice to have nobody telling you what to do? Learn more at electnobody.com. electnobody.com.
Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get one free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
Looking for a great real estate investment? Consider New Hampshire, which is ground zero for the Liberty Movement. Your first call should be to Mark Worden from Porcupine Real Estate. He's more than just a real estate agent. He's your New Hampshire concierge. Where are the best places to live? Do you want farm, city, the burbs, or forest? Do you want a duplex or multifamily building so that renters pay your mortgage? There are homes in all price ranges in New Hampshire, and Mark can help with financing too. Invest in liberty and property. Mark Worden can help.
PorcupineRealEstate.com. Love what we do? Please help support our international satellite channels at patreon.lrn.fm. That's patreon.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live. You dial toll free and join us here. The number is 855-450-FREE like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. Want to say thanks to Harry He's a Free Talk Live Silver Amplifier, meaning that Harry contributes $5 a month to the Free Talk Live AMP program at amp.freetalklive.com. AMP stands for Advertise, Market, and Promote. If you appreciate the work that we do here, getting Free Talk Live and the ideas of freedom on more broadcast radio stations, which are up to 207 now. I believe that is a record high for Free Talk Live. So,
congratulations.
Yeah, thank you, Harry, for helping make that possible. And the other couple hundred folks, or almost a couple hundred folks that we have in the AMP program. It's a small group, but it's a great group of folks who get behind what we do here, and they realize that there's some value to this program. Sadly, we're the only really principled libertarian show on broadcast radio, at least in syndication. There's a handful of libertarian, like local talk show hosts scattered about the country, but as far as shows that are on more than one station, we're the only one. And so if you appreciate the work we do and you want to get some cool benefits, some perks as a result of joining the AMP program, go to amp.freetalklive.com. You get access to things like the AMP-only discussion rooms, or the supporters discussion rooms on our Discord chat server, and other perks like the AMP-only Facebook group and more. Go to amp.freetalklive.com. You can use PayPal, you can use credit card, you can use Bitcoin, BTC to get signed up for AMP at ampamp.freetalklive.com. So please do like Harry and join AMP. It makes a big difference for us as we go to your calls, or we will be going to your calls and thoughts. But coming up, we're going to talk more about the article from Vice magazine that, Melanie, you brought in. It's all about abolishing the family in favor of feminism. Now, it hasn't really been clear on that so far. It's kind of a bit of a mess, but we're going to muddle through it here as best we can, because you said this is an important piece to talk about, so we're going to do that. But first, we got Graham in Pennsylvania listening online. Graham, you're on Free Talk Live. Go ahead.
About those Democratic primaries you were talking about earlier.
Yeah, what about it?
It doesn't really matter who wins those primaries or who wins whatever election. What really matters is the career-long bureaucrats who work in local state government,
right?
Who have union memberships and who get government employee pensions.
Yeah, there's no doubt.
They're the ones who...
The politicians change over the years, but the bureaucrats persist.
And they're not elected, so it's harder to get them out.
Yeah, well, and it also kind of goes into what you were just about saying about that newspaper article about the family.
It's not a real
It doesn't
newspaper.
matter. Well, that article you mentioned a second ago.
Vice News. Yep.
The publication.
Yeah, where it's talking about the family.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, it goes to the bureaucrats as well. You can vote all you want, but if some government employee decides to kidnap your children, they can go ahead and do it. They could accuse you of all types of stuff, or they could just say, we don't have to tell you why we took your kids.
Have you had a bad experience with CPS or whatever they call it in your neck of the woods? Child Protective Services?
No, but it happens a lot where I live.
Oh, yeah. I mean, everybody has known people who've had those experiences, and they're horrifying.
Apparently, there's an adult protective services as well to help seniors who are in distress.
Wow.
Well, the thing about that in Pennsylvania is you could call the adult protective services as a prank on your neighbors, and you could do it for years and years and years. And your victim, who you're causing to be harassed by calling adult protective services in Pennsylvania, adult protective services doesn't have to say who or why they called them.
Yeah.
And in a lot of cases, they can't, is my understanding of it, which probably varies by state, though.
I think it does vary by, but how is that even a thing if you're getting accused of something? Like, don't you, if you want to go to the Constitution or the law, don't you have a right somewhere to face your accuser? Like, isn't that written down somewhere? Like, if they're accusing you of something, they have to present themselves and make their case.
Yes.
They can't just pawn it off to the prosecutor.
Yeah. Well, the witness doesn't have to make the case.
They don't have to make the case.
The prosecutor's still going to do the case, but yeah, you're supposed to be able to at least know who the witness is.
Yeah, because if it's their testimony, right, they have to testify in front of the judge that I witnessed this, right? I'm accusing this person of this, right? The prosecutor can make the case, but the accuser needs to present themselves and make state their claim.
Yeah, you have a right to face your accuser.
So how did they get away with that in Pennsylvania? If you can crank call and have someone harassed, right? Presumably they're going to get, taken away.
Well, if there's nobody who's arrested,
okay.
If they're just harassing them, then at that point they can still protect the accuser.
Okay.
If they arrest the person for some sort of alleged violation, then they may have to present the accuser in a trial.
So in that case, if you're getting harassed, take me away.
Hold on. Unless the police witnessed the violation themselves, in which case they wouldn't have to call, or you wouldn't necessarily be able to call.
Even in a criminal case, which I say even because you have more constitutional rights there, even though I think some of us would prefer it to be the other way around if we had a pick. You don't always get to the CI. Mm-hmm. The cops will go on the stand and testify as to what a CI told him, and which means you can also not cross-examine them because they're
hearsay.
not there.
Mm-hmm, that is hearsay.
But yeah, it is. But you'll object and you'll get overruled and you'll appeal it. And
now wait a minute. I mean, maybe there are cases where that happens, but in our friend Nobody, who used to be known as Rich Paul, in his case, they put the snitch on the stand, so he was able to call that person.
Just because they can do that doesn't mean they never.
So in some cases, they try to protect the snitch.
Yeah,
that's what you're saying. Graham, you're spot on, man. Anything else you want to share? Go ahead. Hello?
Come back to the phone.
Oh. Thanks for the call. Appreciate it. Let's go to James in Arizona. You're on Free Talk Live. Hello, James.
Why don't you just call him Rich Nobody Paul?
Because his name's Nobody.
Jinx, owe me a Coke?
Clever of it. Hey, Richie, Rich. I don't see you wearing a flak jacket in the studio anymore.
A flat top?
Flak jacket.
Oh, because we're not expecting your presence, James. That was really? Presented to me by
a flak jacket in my presence. Are you taking the word of a complete loser and liar that the FBI doesn't even take his word versus mine? I haven't been arrested. Speaking of making false allegations in a court of law, I haven't been to a court of law to have to answer to a crime I would never commit, and that if anybody did commit, like I told in the Federal Bureau of Investigator, they should be executed. Just as I told an FBI agent that when you make a false allegation in a court of law that makes you guilty of that which you accuse the person of committing, meaning Mark Edgington, to be put to death for real. Not to mention, his crime victim, a flak jacket didn't do him any good. He can't go on vacation in Mariana Islands or have children.
Well, I didn't have to pay for the flak jacket, so there was no reason not to wear it.
He's still dead, speaking of murder. And one of these days, Mark Edgington is not going to be able to lie to anybody anymore.
Mark is a co-host here on Free Talk Live, who James is obsessed with.
He's a convicted murderer, ladies and gentlemen. A convicted murderer
who served his sentence and turned his life around.
In the Mariana Islands.
Who served? You don't believe in forgiveness, do you, James? I thought you were a Christian.
Not for murderers.
Okay.
Not for
so
murderers.
Jesus would never forgive a murderer?
I believe in forgiveness for anybody that repents for the sins they've committed against me. It's a commandment.
Pretty sure he repented for his sins.
It's a commandment to repent against sins you commit against James
Woodcock. That are not true and then project them on me. Oh, you ugly cow, don't use my full name.
That's not very nice. And we'll use your full name as much as we want to, James Woodcock. Thank you for the call.
Yeah.
The toll-free number here, 855-450-FREE. The reason we know your name is because you kept calling the show obsessively and being insane, and people did research on you to find out who you were.
Yeah.
Because you were out of your mind.
And according to the liar Mark Edge, right, there was a subpoena that was supposed to have been issued for James's presence in Keene.
Yeah.
A day following the show.
But he's never been issued it, apparently.
Apparently not, right?
He's
but
dodging the cops, something
Mark
like that.
was under the impression that he would be here, said, you never know, might find the studio. Wear this flak jacket tonight.
Mark
just in
believes
case.
James is going to kill him. James has said some things that are pretty seemingly threats on the internet, and Mark has like a whole website dedicated to the things
I'm
James
not discounting it, but if someone hands you a flak jacket and says, you might want to wear this tonight, it costs me nothing to put on the flak jacket.
Yep.
So I just put it on.
All right, so there you go, 855-450-FREE. But James swears up and down he's never threatened anybody, even though I'm sure we can find, if I cared enough, examples of him doing that. I don't care enough. I'm not like Mark.
Things James Woodkind says.
Yeah, I'm not on Facebook, and I'm not like Mark. I really don't care what James says.
Okay.
And I don't agree with.
Well, you also don't have as much to defend as Mark, to be fair.
I've got a very nice dog.
The nuclear family.
So we got more coming up here. So we're getting back into the family subject on the way. Of course, your calls and thoughts are welcome. Plus, we can talk about free speech. It has been under assault for more than 100 years in Connecticut. We'll tell you what happened there. It's Free Talk Live.
I can definitely say that I have found the best cryptocurrency wallet. Certainly the best named one. I'm Mark Edge, and I love the Edge wallet. I've been using it for the last few months. You can buy, sell, trade, and hold your cryptocurrency securely. I trust my holdings of all the major cryptocurrencies to Edge wallet, and you should too. No long phrases to memorize, just a username and password. Secure your freedom with Edge wallet. Get it now on Apple or Android in the App Store or at edge.app.
You can be the smartest person in the room on the topic of the Constitution if you watch this free webinar. Liberty First University is online training on the principles of liberty and the origin, proper application, and defense of our founding documents and the principles they contain. You will receive an education worthy of the highest institutions of learning, as if the founders were teaching it. Join us at lfu.freetalklive.com to watch the free pre-recorded webinar. Watch now at lfu.freetalklive.com.
Are you tired of governments murdering people around the world? Stop using their money. There is an alternative. Bitcoin is a stateless, free market, non-political currency. Bitcoin cannot be inflated or controlled by any government. By using their money, you are helping the state. Stop doing it. You have an incredible alternative available now. Learn it, use it, spread it. Get started with Bitcoin at bitcoin.com. That's bitcoin.com.
So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 2 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with the SNLS Network and listeners like you. Online at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,622, silver at $18.41, and Bitcoin is trading around $9,611. Today's gold, silver, and Bitcoin prices are brought to you by Brave Botanicals, high-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven. The Liberty Beat and Brave Botanicals believe so strongly in the power of kratom, we're giving it away for free. Just go to libertybeat.news/free kratom. This is the Liberty Beat at snlsnetwork.com. In the news, longtime Donald Trump ally Roger Stone was sentenced Thursday afternoon to 40 months in prison. News to Share was there and captured video of Stone entering and exiting the courthouse, as well as his supporters and protesters. A few members of the right-wing group, the Proud Boys, of which Stone is an honorary member, showed up at court to support him. Claude Taylor, a prominent anti-Trump activist, inflated a giant rat in front of the courthouse. As press awaited the recently sentenced Stone to exit the courthouse, right-wing journalist Owen Schroyer began yelling at journalists. Stone exited the courthouse and departed in a black SUV with a grin, but without making any statement. Late last year, Stone was convicted of 1 count of obstructing a proceeding, 5 counts of making false statements to Congress, and 1 count of witness tampering in the Mueller probe. Ever wonder where we find all the news to report right here on the Liberty Beat? Visit snls.news to get the world's most censored media published all in one place. Save yourself from the endless time spent searching for reliable alternative media. SNLS News makes it quick and easy. No ads, no clickbait, just raw headlines, 24 hours a day. Visit snls.news and get informed today without the corporate media spin. Your news now continues. A new study published in the prestigious medical journal, The Lancet, has calculated that a switch to a Medicare for All healthcare system would save the United States over 68,000 lives and over $450 billion each year. The report's team, headed by Dr. Allison P. Galvani of Yale University, concluded that the shift to single-payer healthcare would provide the greatest relief to lower-income households and reduce overall health spending by 13%. Minpress News reports that Improving the Prognosis of Healthcare in the USA, the title of the report, makes a number of basic calculations based on existing figures that show the difference in cost between private healthcare and the Medicare system in place for those age 65 or over. It finds that there are huge cost savings that can be made by switching to socialized healthcare. A federal judge dismissed the claims of Houston residents seeking to hold the government liable for flooding their homes with Hurricane Harvey stormwater released from 2 dams, finding there is no constitutional right to perfect flood control. Activist Post reports U.S. Court of Federal Claims Judge Lauren Smith's order on Tuesday came the same day the WeatherWise magazine published a study naming Hurricane Harvey the most extreme storm of the 2010s, responsible for $108 billion in property damage and 82 deaths. Harvey stalled over the Houston area for 4 days in August 2017, swamping neighborhoods and freeways and forcing people to evacuate in chest-deep water as first responders and Good Samaritans rescued others in boats, and Coast Guard crews threw down rope ladders from helicopters for those who had climbed onto their roofs to escape the rising water. Support for the Liberty Beat is brought to you by the Homestead Guru. The Homestead Guru is an educational website offering tips, tools, news, stories, and commentary on everything homesteading. Topics include green homes, gardening, animal husbandry, do-it-yourself, home remedies, alternative energy, survivalism, unschooling, and more. Those details are found online at thehomestead.guru. This is the Liberty Beat, powered by the SNLS Network at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
Gourmet chef Ted Allen is here. He's the author of the new cookbook, Pretentious Foodie Bullshit, and he's going to show us how to cook some fussy little foodie dishes for you and all your asshole friends. Welcome back to the show, Ted. What sort of stupid, over-elaborate, fancy-ass meal are you going to make for us today?
We're going to cook one of the very most pretentious dishes in my cookbook. Oh. It's a stupid, trendy piece of fish coated in some kind of nut you've never heard of, served alongside a puree of baby something or other.
Oh, great!
Sounds annoying.
Let's get started.
Okay, have at it.
First, it's very important to choose the most expensive type of fish you can find for some vague environmental reason that you can then pair it back to your faux intellectual gay wad dinner party guests.
Okay.
And now I assume all these other ingredients are organic and locally sourced and all that bullshit.
Oh, yeah.
Now, what about the pureed baby turnips, Ted?
You must blanch them for 30 seconds, then you shock them in an ice bath. Peel them, then boil them again with a little sugar, thyme, and a pinch of salt.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
It's Free Talk Live, launching into the second hour of the program. You're, of course, invited to join us here at this live Sunday edition. With you tonight, it's Ian,
Richie Rich,
and Melanie.
And don't forget, you can join us online at freetalklive.com. We've got the Discord server that is there for you around the clock. You can interact with other Free Talk Live listeners in our Discord server. A bunch of different rooms in which you can chat via text, or even voice chat is available. And it's free, so head over to discord.lrn.fm if you want to do that. They're posting videos of crows that somehow have been able to make cats fight one another right now, which is pretty entertaining stuff. I was watching one during the news. So check that out. They always have some interesting stuff there at discord.lrn.fm. Let's go to your phone calls and thoughts and more when we get to it about this Vice story that you brought in, Melanie. We started last hour that apparently it's at some point going to argue that the family should be gotten rid of in favor of feminism. So we're going to get into that a little deeper. But first, we go to John. He's in Virginia listening to WNIS in Virginia Beach. Go ahead, John.
Hey, first of all, Melanie, I just want to say that last caller, what he had to say about you is awful. You're a lovely young lady, and you do a terrific job, so we really appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you. That was James. He calls in and insults and threats people. That's just what he does.
He's drunk usually.
Well, no woman deserves to be spoken to like that. But anyway, I'll get to my point.
That's very kind.
I really wanted to talk about the potential for a brokered convention, Democratic convention.
Oh, my goodness.
With Bernie Sanders not...
It means the
Bernie
superdelegates
Sanders
are coming back to put in Bloomberg.
Correct. And so my prediction is that the Democrats know that there is no way that Bernie Sanders will win a general election.
Against Trump.
To have any chance against Trump. So to have any chance of winning, they have to put up a different candidate. Now you have this progressive...
But Bernie's been
Democratic
winning
Party.
everything so far, right? The guy that's been winning everything is the candidate that Democrats are saying cannot win a general.
But he doesn't get all of the delegates from the states that he's won.
True.
And so my point is, if he doesn't win more than, I would say, 30%, maybe 40%, then I think it's going to be a brokered convention. And I think that the Democrats know he has no chances of winning a general election and will maybe take the nomination away from him.
The Bernie bros are going to
really
riot.
They're going to riot. You're exactly right. They're going to riot.
They didn't
They're
last
gonna
time.
That's the thing. This will be the second time in a row that they've basically stolen the election from Bernie Sanders.
Well, I think big picture is it will cause a schism within the Democratic Party, where you already have a schism, an unofficial schism, where you have this deep progressive wing, and you also have a moderate, more traditional Democratic wing, right? And so, it's a shame that we're stuck in this two-party system where, if you're not aligned with the Democrats and the Republicans, you don't stand a chance, right? So look at the Green Party, right? They align more probably with the Democratic Party.
Yes.
They don't stand a chance in a general election without the backing of the Democratic Party. And so that's why nobody takes the Green Party seriously. Now, think about if the progressives, the real socialist wing of the Democratic Party sprung off, they wouldn't have a chance. So they have to tag on to the, establishment Democratic Party. But I don't think that's going to last long if the nomination is taken away or, in their perception, stolen away from Bernie. So I just think...
So you think that there's... So you're saying that you think that in 2020, what will happen this year is what didn't happen in 2016, where there was so many people that were upset about them screwing over Bernie with, Hillary Clinton cheating Bernie essentially out of winning the Democratic nomination. But yet they galvanized behind their candidate and they went forward, and there really wasn't much fallout from that. You're saying this time, the second time, they're actually going to leave the Democratic Party and do something different, like join the Greens?
2 in a row sends a big signal.
It's possible. I mean, it could be the straw that broke the camel's back, I think a lot of the Bernie supporters would rather go down with the ship than
But Bernie is just going to... Okay, but what's going to happen, right? Bernie is going to, if he loses, even if it's through some sort of skullduggery at the convention or whatever, Bernie's going to get behind their nominee, and he's going to tell his people... I don't think the Bernie supporters will, though. He's going to tell his supporters to hold their nose. We got to do it because she's not Trump, or he's not Trump, or whoever it is the nominee from the Democratic side is, yes, it's not Bernie, but it's not Trump. So
and every state, if he doesn't run, every state doesn't have write-in ballots. So even if they wanted to go that route, it's not going to work.
I'm not even saying they're going to write in. They'll stay home from this election.
Here's one more take. Yeah, exactly. That was my next take. I think a lot of people last election they held their nose and they voted for Hillary, right? Mm-hmm. But I don't think that's going to happen now because Bernie represents such a distinct segment of the Democratic Party. I think that the progressive wing and the traditionalist Democrats are so split now that I don't think that the Bernie supporters will hold their nose and vote for a Democratic establishment candidate.
Well, it's an interesting prediction because people were saying the same thing in 2016, and they said the same thing about the Republicans as well. They said Trump was going to cause a schism within the Republican Party, but yet they've gotten behind him 90+%.
Well, yeah, but in the Bernie situation, it happened. It already happened with Hillary,
mm-hmm.
and now there's already talk about it happening again with Bloomberg. And so you have diehard, not necessarily Democrats, but Bernie supporters,
yeah,
right? Who, like you said, held their nose, got behind Hillary last time, and if they're diehard Bernie supporters, you're going to be hard pressed to convince them, even if Bernie says so, to like throw their lot in behind Bloomberg after all the hard work they've done for Bernie. And like, you know, I kind of agree with the caller. He agrees with me. Whatever. I think they'll sit this one out.
I mean, the Democrats could avoid this whole thing by just not having a primary election if that's not how they want to pick their candidate.
You mean just pick it privately?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's how the brokered convention ends up, though. It's because the Bernie doesn't get enough delegates to win the majority. Therefore, they broker it. They bring back in the
super. Use your regular caucus. Don't have a fake election, and then turn around and be like, "Well, we count different, so this is who really won."
Well, again, they have this part because if he does get enough, if he does get the majority, then the superdelegates are iced out. They don't have a say.
Good call, John.
It's if he doesn't.
Thanks for sharing your thoughts tonight here. I guess.
Thank you, guys.
Yep, thank you. I guess time will tell as far as how it goes again this year. I mean, I wish I had the optimism to think that these people within these two major parties would actually break away from those parties in any significant numbers, but just history doesn't show that to be the case.
I'm not agreeing with the caller on that. I don't think they're going to break away. I think they just sit it out.
Yeah, from what I've seen from Democrats that I know, they don't go create their own thing. They just refuse to vote until the DNC gets enough in line with what they want.
Well, they're going to get a hard time from their fellow Democrats then, right? Because they're going to be socially ostracized. What? You're not going to come vote for fill-in-the-blank person who's not Bernie, Bloomberg?
Well, no, because if a lot of them do that, then they can't ostracize themselves. I mean, they could, but that would be really weird.
I can't believe there's going to be that many that break away because Trump is so evil to their mind that even Bloomberg is a better choice to them than Trump.
All Democrats aren't like political activist Democrats. There's just your regular people Democrats.
Sure, but a lot of people don't like Trump on the left, and they will always position themselves to be, well, you know, you may not like Bloomberg, but he's the winner. We nominated him, and we get behind our nominee. That's what we do. And the same thing's true of the Republicans. They say the same crowd. Well, you liked Jeb Bush, but he didn't win. You got to get behind Trump. And then a bunch of these people who were like on the right wing, talk show hosts, for instance, who were against Trump during the primaries, changed their tune and became total Trumpers after that.
I don't get that feeling from the Bernie supporters and the Bernie bros.
Interesting.
Right.
Do you know them personally?
Not personally, but just from what I've read, what I've seen, it's not so much that they're anti-Trump; they're pro-Bernie. They're really behind Bernie's, socialist programs. Right? They want that. They want the free college. They want the free healthcare. They want the raised minimum wage. Right? They want everything that Bernie's offering, and it's because.
But won't Bloomberg offer a bunch of that crap too?
Maybe. I have. What is his platform?
Hell if I know. I don't pay attention to these people.
I don't know either.
855, 453.
Bloomberg skipped Iowa and New Hampshire.
The primary is over in New Hampshire, so I have no reason to pay attention to it.
855-450-3733. You can bring up whatever you want here. The live Sunday edition of Free Talk Live. You can join us on the radio. And you can call us on Discord at discord.lrn.fm. Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com.
The next generation wallet is coming from Divvy. In just a few taps, you'll be able to send, earn, spend, and exchange digital money in seconds. Send money around the globe with only a swipe. Instantly exchange between Divvy, Bitcoin, and fiat right in the mobile app and withdraw directly to your bank account. Divvy already offers the first one-tap solution for earning passive income with crypto. Multi-tiered masternodes allow everyone to partake in the network. Visit DivvyProject.org. DivvyProject.org.
Gold has definitely been on the move recently, and there is no more secure investment historically. McIlvaney ICA has been helping people take delivery of precious metals and find storage options for decades. They've helped thousands of investors with their precious metal IRAs. Call ICA today for your free portfolio review at 800-525-9556 or download their free report online at ICAGoldSilver.com to learn how you can double your gold and silver ounces even within an IRA. 800-525-9556. ICAGoldSilver.com.
I want to tell you about my favorite cryptocurrency wallet, Edge Wallet, at edge.app. Edge is the wallet I use more than any other, and that was true long before Edge Wallet became a sponsor of Free Talk Live. Edge Wallet allows you to buy, sell, trade, and securely hold your cryptocurrencies, including Bitcoin, Ethereum, tokens, Monero, Ripple, Dash, Bitcoin Cash, and more. It's available for both Android and iOS, and you can download it via the Play or App Store or via Edge Wallet's website, edge.app. Secure your freedom with Edge Wallet. Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm. If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com to receive our usually weekly news updates by email. Plus, we have a Twitter account at twitter.freetalklive.com, and you can follow us on the decentralized Mastodon platform at toot.freetalklive.com. So please follow us at toot.freetalklive.com and sign up for our emails at news.freetalklive.com. So you've signed the Shire Society Declaration and are planning your move to New Hampshire to be around more liberty-oriented people. Next, sign up for the Shire Society Forum at forum.shiresociety.com. There are a bunch of people there who are already in the Shire, and they want to meet you. If you're already in the Shire physically, you should also come by the forums. Remember, not everyone uses Facebook. New people are signing up for the Shire Society Forum every month, so drop in and say hello at forum.shiresociety.com.
Now you can follow LRN.FM on the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live. You bring up anything you want here. Toll-free number 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. With you tonight, it's Ian.
Richie Rich.
And Melanie.
Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash with dozens of payment methods. It's a global trading platform where there's no identification requirements to sign up for the site, which really is unusual. So head over to local.bitcoin.com and start trading Bitcoin Cash. And you can go to bitcoin.com, just the normal bitcoin.com site, and that's where you can kind of get started. If you're new to the world of cryptocurrency, learn about Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash at bitcoin.com, and then local.bitcoin.com is where you go to buy or sell it. There's also news.bitcoin.com. It's got some news headlines updated every single day with fresh headlines from across the cryptocurrency globe at bitcoin.com. Bunch of cool features there as we go back to your phone calls and thoughts. We'll start with David in Virginia, listening to WNIS in Norfolk. Go ahead, David.
Yeah, I guess we got back-to-back callers from WNIS.
It's a great station.
You're doing a great job
Big
here.
signal. Go ahead.
Yes, it is. Yes. Well, my name is David. I live in Virginia Beach. I'm involved with an organization, a couple organizations, three, and we're involved in shared parenting, and that we believe that the judiciary, the family courts of this country, are doing more harm than good. That and that they contribute to fatherlessness.
Mm-hmm.
That if you look at the last 20 or 30 mass shooters, a good portion of them, 60, 70, 80% of them came from in families that weren't intact. In a lot of cases, the father wasn't present. So we believe that part of the contribution to this poor statistic is, and I wanted to bring it to your attention to get your listeners to learn something about this, that the federal government incentivizes through Title 4D of the Social Security Act these state courts, these juvenile domestic relations secret courts, in which 80, 90% of the time the father is relegated to a visitor, and in exchange for that, they get money from the federal government. So
really,
effectively, it's a kids for cash program. And when you brought up the feminist involvement, it fits right into that narrative. And I'm involved with people from coast to coast, from Maine to Hawaii and Florida to Alaska, who have had their kids ripped out of their lives, me included.
Mm-hmm.
And it's these courts operate in secret. You were talking about rules of evidence. That does not exist in these courts. The Guantanamo prisoners have more rights than fathers do in family courts.
Yeah, well, look, we've had calls for years from a lot of people who've been screwed over, mostly men, by the family court system, and there's just horror story after horror story. But you're telling me that the federal government is somehow incentivizing these decisions?
The federal government, look it up, Title 4D of the Social Security Act provides incentive payments of more than $500 million to thousands of state courts around the country. It's essentially a kids for cash program. And I can tell you,
and the courts, just to clarify, the courts get the payments for what purpose?
They're supposed to keep families intact, but what happens is the family court ends up being like a beauty pageant, a witch hunt, and a political campaign all rolled into one. Picture those three things, and that's what when a father's going into family court to fight for his kids, not always a father, but 80, 90% of the time it is.
Mm-hmm.
That's where he ends up. It's comparable to a witch hunt, a political campaign, and a beauty pageant.
So I'm gonna jump in real quick. I'm gonna jump in real quick because
Marriage Story. Okay, go if you watch Marriage Story, the movie Marriage Story that just won an Oscar for Laura Dern, where she plays a lawyer and she does an amazing job. So anyway, you piqued my interest when you were talking about families and.
I'm going to jump in real quick, caller, because
All right, go ahead. Okay, I'll listen. Go ahead.
I'm the anecdotal opposition case to that because my parents are divorced, and my dad won custody of me in the 80s when a lot of people think like this whole...
It happens.
It does happen, and again, this is why I say I'm the anecdotal case, right? I'm sure it happens a lot.
Statistically, it doesn't. Statistically, single females had 85% of all households, of single-parent households.
Yep.
And we think a contributing factor is there's no incentive for females to keep their marriage intact. I mean, 80 to 90% of all divorces are initiated by females because they have come to the conclusion that if they go into family court, they can't lose. They get the kids and they get cash.
Yeah, so they've created family court,
and
which
the
means...
state courts get compensated.
Yeah, so you can...
Literally, these... Go ahead.
So you can basically quit your job as wife, but continue to get paid for that job, is essentially what you can do in the U.S.
Well, you know, they haven't quite made it that lucrative. I'm not so sure. I mean, I guess it just depends. Well,
no, you're still going to pay because you're still getting child
for
support and you're still
for the basketball
getting
players.
alimony.
Yes, you are right, but that not. You are
well, yeah,
right
but if you're an average
houses.
person making $30,000 a year and you go get divorced, you're not going to get $1 million because your husband wasn't making that.
No,
you're going to get
you're not, but
a proportional
if you're
payout.
unhappy, you know, I mean, but you read about these celebrities. I mean, go back and watch Marriage Story. It is amazing how the courtroom scenes are really phenomenal. I mean,
so is this a movie that is somehow pro the dad?
Well, no, it just it depicts what happens when a family goes through a divorce, and so it's a pretty good depiction of it.
So in my case, I don't have the whole story because I was not even born yet when it happened. But I asked, like, what did it take to get custody of me as a male in the 80s? And it was basically like a lot of money and an attorney. Right. So, I talked to my mom and she goes, well, I didn't have an attorney. And I went, well, you lost. Right. Like if that's the route you took. Right. Then
well, it only
that
takes
was probably
one of
a
the
mistake.
two parties. It only takes one of the two parties. I mean, if both people can agree, then you can keep the judiciary out of it. But if only one of the two parties does not agree, they can throw sand in the gears and.
Well, yeah, if it's your kid and you're in family court, like something has already gone wrong. If you're fighting somebody who is actually the other parent, because there are people who have just another person come in and try to interfere. But if you're talking about the two parents and they're already in family court, you've already messed up at that point.
Yes. If you've already got together. Now, there's another thing I want to point out, too, that goes on in these situations, is there's a thing in our movement called the silver bullet theory. And what it means is a lot of cases, some cases, a female will go and say, maybe they were married for 20 or 30 years, and then all of a sudden they're threatened by the ex. So they get a protective order, and the protective order prevents a lot of cases the father from being anywhere near, and then so that is just, they do it every chance they can.
There's so many horrifying stories about people using this court systems against their former lovers to keep them away from their kids, and it's tragic.
Be
David,
proactive.
Thanks for the call tonight, man. Appreciate hearing from you. There's more coming up. 855-450 free.
She seems happier. Her fur is so much shinier, silkier, softer. She has really mellowed a lot.
Sheba is 105 lean pounds of shiny, smooth, happy dog for life.
The shedding has stopped. The itching has stopped.
Since 2001, we've helped more than 250,000 dogs get over their nutritional deficiency miseries.
And saved our customers bazillions in vet bills.
Everything we tried failed except the Dynovite.
Come to Dynovite for help.
DINOVITE.com.
If you want the dog to be healthy, you got to feed it something healthy.
The omega-3 fatty acids.
Flaxseed, zinc, alfalfa.
The digestive enzymes that are cooked out of regular dog food.
Dynovite is nutrition.
Dynovite for life.
Don't let your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy.
Come to Dynovite for help.
859-428-1000.
859-428-1000.
DINOVITE.com.
I've been told no in many different ways.
I give you an order and you're going to obey it.
George, you can go this way. You can't do that and you have to leave here.
You cannot bring signs into the rally.
Walk with me. Well, I'm comfortable here, actually. Whoa. Hey. Who do you think you are? Excuse me.
There is no video and audio allowed in this hospital.
No, I have work today.
You ain't going to make it.
Wait on account. Now. Wait a minute.
Whoa!
Hey! Oh my God! Unbelievable! Why are you running from me? Because you're scared me. What am I being detained for?
You're being served.
What is this?
You're being served.
What is this? Bureaucrats have a funny way of telling people no.
That's the sound of the men working on the chain.
Derek J's Victimless Crime Spree. Watch it for free and order the Director's Cut DVD at victimlesscrimespree.com. The new 4th edition of Healing Our World, The Compassion of Libertarianism, will take your understanding of liberty to a deeper level and has over 1,300 updated references, new cartoons, and a foreword by Dr. Ron Paul. With discounts for multiple book purchases, the 4th edition of Healing Our World is a great gift for the liberals, pragmatists, environmentalists, and Christians in your life who think libertarianism is cold-hearted. Get yours today at healing.freetalklive.com and use promo code FTL for a $5 discount. LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm. On Free Talk Live, we're bringing people to the ideas of liberty every day. From wrestling superstars like Glenn Jacobs.
You guys really are having an impact, I believe. Like I said, a lot of where I am now is due to listening to Free Talk Live. You changed my mind on some very important issues years ago.
To random people tuning in on the radio.
I was kind of stuck in the left-right paradigm. I heard your show by chance on a Saturday night. From there, I went on, joined the Free State Project, and become an amplifier. So, I mean, that's really the reason why I amp is because I know that if it wasn't for you guys being on as many stations as you are, I never would have found the ideas of liberty.
Your amp will directly change more lives by getting Free Talk Live in front of people looking for talk radio online and on the air. When you amp Free Talk Live, you get perks like access to the AMP-only Facebook group and AMP podcast. Visit amp.freetalklive.com.
This is the Liberty Radio Network, broadcasting the latest liberty-oriented audio content 24 hours a day at lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live Sunday edition here. You can join us. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE, like freedom. It's 855-450-3733. With you tonight, it's Ian.
Richie Rich.
And Melanie.
Also, I want to let you know about the Edge wallet. It allows you to buy, sell, trade, and securely hold various cryptocurrencies. I used mine twice tonight. I was actually out with you. We had some dinner, Richie, and then I went across the street to buy some stuff at the little corner news shop. And I just used Edge wallet in both places because, well, we can do that here in Keene. There's actually businesses that accept cryptocurrency. But of course, Edge wallet is also useful for online purchases as well. Or maybe you just want to hold some money and send some to your loved ones from Edge. You can do that too. Go to edge.app to learn more about the technology behind Edge and secure your freedom with their iOS or Android apps available in the iOS and Android app stores. So go and download Edge Wallet, EDGE Edge Wallet, or their website, edge.app. As we continue here, you can bring up what you want. We go to Durango, Colorado, where Jeff is on the line. Go ahead, Jeff.
Yeah, how you doing? I was just funny listening to that your prior caller and what he was complaining about. I had another kind of a spooky incident, and it really wasn't as far as the the courts and kids and whatnot. I think a lot of that depends on the wisdom of the local magistrate. Whether he goes a compassionate way or an intelligent way or not. There's a lot of good ones, and some of them ain't so good.
I don't know I don't think there's a lot of good ones.
He was right. I do kind of want to hold people to more personal responsibility to that. Like if you're in court because you picked the wrong partner, but everything else he said was well, I'm going to exempt another thing. I've heard of the Title IV thing before. No one has ever been able to send me a citation of that, so I don't know if I believe it.
This is the claim that the feds are paying courts to somehow do something. It wasn't really clear regarding families.
But as far as women win custody, that is accurate.
Yeah, I tell you what, something's a little spooky. Okay, I was in the Four Corners area. Come to find out that there is a Epstein matrix in the Four Corners, which is seriously spooky.
What's an Epstein matrix?
Child modeling that belongs to the Epstein ranch, and it's gone back decades, and it's extremely dark, and basically human trafficking in the Four Corners area.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you found out about this how?
Law enforcement. I'm in law enforcement, and I have a very, very good friend who was a psychologist in New Mexico, and people were coming to her in their 40s, so right as they were approaching 40, and they were all telling the same story, that all of a sudden they were remembering some really spooky stuff about how they were basically marketed as small children. And they had some severe, they call it beta conditioning, kind of sounds like Manchurian Candidate stuff, and they basically repress them when they start waking up. Come to find out, they literally, these were techniques by Joseph Mengele, and the Nazi thing, and basically it shatters the personalities of children. And then later on, after they've been seriously abused and marketed, and they will they will put a basically a type of hypnosis for them to forget. But when they start remembering, it's rather spooky. These
how old were these people? I mean,
he said approaching 40.
Right, but at the time when they were
around
marketed,
39. We're talking like 5 years old. We're talking they start them very young.
That's not what I heard about
Epstein.
Epstein. I mean, I don't think any allegations about Epstein went that young.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, Epstein Ranch over here in New Mexico. Mostly everybody. This is a large through Santa Fe ring. This wasn't very small. This was huge.
I mean, you would think if Epstein were alleged to have been, I mean, they were trying to drag Epstein through as much of the mud as possible. Here, I'm gonna put you on hold. There's a lot of breathing going on there, but they were not holding back against Jeffrey Epstein. They would drag him through the mud as much as they could. I mean, if there were allegations about him being involved with children, then you think we would have heard about it. I mean, when I say children, I mean actual children, people who have not hit puberty yet.
Also, I don't remember much from when I was 5
young
years old as well.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I don't know if you need to hypnotize anybody to make them forget what a 5-year-old
Jeffrey
thinks.
Epstein was accused of trafficking actual children.
I mean, I heard as young as like 12, but I hadn't heard anything actually younger than that. You have? You've heard allegations about 5-year-olds? Because
I don't know if it was specifically 5, but like actual children.
Okay.
Like not like
first I've heard of it.
No.
I mean, were there people who came out saying that they had been trafficked? Because the women that were speaking out were all in their teenage years.
By the time they got out.
No. They were trafficked. Or if you want to use the term trafficked, I don't think it's fair to use that term.
Child prostitute.
Yeah, they were
teenage
prostitutes. So I mean, I didn't.
Who all willingly just went to his island and lived there and never left. It's like, come on.
They were paid handsomely.
They were getting paid. So anyway, Jeff, any other thoughts? Go ahead.
We have graveyards in the Four Corners through Dolores and Montezuma County and La Plata County. You still there?
I'm right here. Yeah.
Okay. And when the children are not cooperative, they disappear. These are the children that you see on milk cartons, and it's funny they found out that some of the local law enforcement are part of it, and I was sent to seize a child from a family. I knew the family. They were seriously straight arrows, right? But somebody on a corner, on their street corner, kept calling up the local child protection and saying, I think they're being abused. Well, I knew the family. I knew that was garbage. But what they wanted to do, they took me to I went to the house one night, and they said, gave me a ride-along of this supposedly child welfare person, and she said, take the child. I said, on what charge?
Doesn't matter.
Said,
safety.
And they were, and what happens is these children are suddenly, they disappear from the parents. The parents were at a Little League game. It was in broad daylight. The kid was 13, and they said, take the child. Well, I already knew what was happening to them. They were being supposedly fostered, but the places where they're fostered to, these parents can never find their children again.
Well, the foster system is also rife with insane corruption and vile individuals.
But it's also manipulated by extremely crafty individuals.
People in the government, by the way. That's what the foster system is.
And the police department.
Well, sadly, there's a lot of perverse folks that literally they have certain professions of choice that give them access to victims. Education,
right.
You name it, and on and on and on.
That's true.
And
no one should be surprised that people who want to victimize children are attracted to jobs which deal with children.
Yes, of course.
Thank you, Jeff, for your call tonight. I appreciate hearing from you. And although I don't see any evidence here, Melanie, I don't know where you heard the story. I'd be curious to know. The summary here from Wikipedia about Epstein says that the federal investigation found that he was able to identify 36 girls, some as young as 14 years old. But then there was a different story about some girls that were 12 that were brought over from France to one of his houses. So, but I have not heard anything in the single digits at all.
The caller's story doesn't surprise me. I just don't don't make the connection to the Epstein
Are you talking
problem.
about his federal case where he actually took a plea and that's resolved? Or are you talking about the not current anymore since
Any
he's
allegations
dead,
at all about him? I've never heard anything about actual children. I mean, you could argue that 12 years old is pretty young for sure. But
I would call a 12-year-old a child anyway.
Yeah. I mean, I could see that argument, but some of them are still hitting puberty. There's no doubt about that. I have not heard any argument that he was after people that were younger than that. But if you can provide any evidence, I'd be curious to hear about it. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE. And yeah, most of these girls were enticed to be with Jeffrey Epstein. They weren't held against their will. Yeah. And that's the thing. I'm not saying he was a good guy, okay? I'm not saying that, he was an honorable or
if you're enticing 12-year-olds into prostitution, you're a rapist.
Well,
no.
Most of them were teenagers, like the supermajority. There's just one story about 12-year-olds being brought across the ocean from France, and I think their parents were involved in it or something like that. I don't know all the details.
I don't know either.
Toll-free number is 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. You can bring up what you want here on Free Talk Live.
Let me ask you something. What are you doing when you put money in a 401k or IRA, or store jumper cables in your vehicle, or purchase health insurance? You're preparing. You're preparing to ensure you have enough money for retirement. You're preparing for when your car battery dies, or to have assistance paying a major unexpected medical bill. That all makes sense. The same goes for building a food storage plan. You're preparing for when emergencies or disasters strike and shelves go empty at your grocery store. The best way to prepare is with My Patriot Supply. They've helped 1 million hardworking Americans become more self-sufficient. My Patriot Supply sells hundreds of items, including dozens of emergency food kits at MyPatriotSupply.com. It could be an earthquake, a cyber attack freezing our banking system, or a disaster that shuts down our power grid for weeks. For all these emergencies and more, get your supplies and prepare today at MyPatriotSupply.com. No more rushing to find empty store shelves because you're too late. Do it now so you're ready. MyPatriotSupply.com.
Hey guys, it's Sue Cosner, your favorite sexual health expert, with another version of Ask the Pro. This month, I got a letter from Sandy in Seattle about an explosive bedroom secret she and her husband recently discovered. She writes, Dear Sue, my husband and I used to have a great life in the bedroom, but in the last few years, he has struggled. He's tried about everything, but nothing has worked. Then one day he came home and gave me a night I will never forget. He told me about this secret formula, Noxatril, that changed our life in the bedroom once and for all. Wow, Sandy, you beat me to it. I recommend Noxatril to every guy that struggles in the bedroom. It's the only one. Noxatril is all natural and works to increase blood flow fast. It's like that little blue pill on steroids. Noxatril has a special free bottle offer, shipped discreetly to your door.
To find out how to get your bottle of Noxatril, call 800-421-0954. 800-421-0954. Get your free bottle for a limited time. Call now. 800-421-0954. 800-421-0954.
The Free State Project has reached its goal of 20,000 liberty lovers who've pledged to move to New Hampshire and get active to achieve liberty in our lifetime. Perhaps you're trying to figure out what part of New Hampshire should be your destination. If so, consider Keene. You'll find more than 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com. Keene is famous for its historic, publicity-generating activism, as well as being the liberty media capital of the world. It's home to freekeene.com, New Hampshire's destination for liberty activism, news, and opinion. For years, we've been compiling over 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com, where you'll learn about some of what's happening here and what makes Keene a great place to live. If you love liberty, you'll probably enjoy anywhere you end up in the Shire. But do your due diligence first. Please visit move.freekeene.com for the full list of over 150 reasons to move to Keene. That's move.freekeene.com. The LRN.FM social media channels have been revamped. We've eliminated Facebook and focused on other platforms like Twitter and Mastodon, the decentralized alternative to Twitter. On our accounts, you'll find posts from multiple LRN.FM show hosts together in one place. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm, or better yet, move to the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm. I think you'll like it.
Cell 411 is a free app for Android and iOS that replaces government-controlled 911. Cell 411 allows you to preset a group of friends or private organizations to show up at any emergency. Cell 411 is a nightmare for the state because it proves their so-called services aren't needed. Cell 411 has had thousands of installs, and of course it's covered by the BIPCOT no government license. Cell 411 because your friends won't shoot you when you're in trouble. Without the government, who would build the emergency services? You and Cell 411. Get it today at getcell411.com.
You can sign up to receive the latest about the Liberty Radio Network via our email updates at updates.lrn.fm. That's updates.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live, and you can bring up whatever you want here. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. We've got the Discord call-in line rooms. Go to discord.lrn.fm. Hop into any one of those. We'll join you in there, and then you can get on the air with us here in the studio. It's Ian.
Richie Rich.
And Melanie.
Also, I want to make sure you know about LibertyCon. It's coming up in early April 3rd through the 5th. In Washington, D.C., and that is where you can go to actually network with something like 70-plus liberty organizations there in D.C. You can go to libertycon.com, use code FTL. You'll save $10 on your tickets. That's actually a significant chunk of the ticket price. They're only $100 tickets, $99 for regular price tickets. If you're a student, you can get, I think, half off. So they really want students to attend this event. It's actually put on by Students for Liberty. Go to libertycon.com, again, April 3rd through the 5th. There's going to be debates there. There are going to be speakers like John Mackey and more. It's libertycon.com, code FTL. Saves you $10. So I just to go and see if we can clarify what exactly the allegations were with Jeffrey Epstein, because obviously there are a bunch of them, a lot of different women coming out and saying that they were targeted by this person, they were recruited. And ultimately, we know that what he did was once he would successfully have an interaction with a teenage girl, he would then ask her, or his assistant, Ghislaine Maxwell, would ask the girl to find some more girls to, hey, recruit your friends.
Seems reasonable.
Recruit two, who recruit two, who recruit two. And so they had literally, dozens, if not hundreds of young girls going through there. But in the allegations, they're all saying that they were between 14 and 16. That's what the bulk of the accusers were saying. That's what they are saying they were when they met him, and that's what they say they brought him when he wanted more teenage girls.
Maybe those were specifically for Jeffrey Epstein himself. Mm-hmm. And then what I would suggest is maybe that little black book with, hundreds of other names of other people like him. Maybe there's a name or two in there that had a proclivity for younger girls.
And that he was the pimp, basically, working to connect those people?
They want the 5-year-old, he's got some property in the four corners of New Mexico somewhere, and he can traffic those to his clientele.
Now, you're totally speculating, right? There's no allegations.
Speculating.
There are no allegations about this happening.
None whatsoever.
I mean, the caller was making claims, but there's been no actual, girls who've said, I saw this. And in the case of the allegations about the 12-year-olds, which I'd remembered hearing, I went and I looked it up. It was actually Virginia Guffrey, I think is her last name, the prime accuser against the one who got all the press coverage over the last year or so. She was the one who made those allegations. There's no other actual evidence or any other claims about it. And, of course, she was the one who was the prime accuser. She was the one getting all this attention. She was the teenager who was traveling with Jeffrey Epstein. And, he would take her to different places. And, so clearly she was willing to go along with this, right?
How is that clear at all?
Because she kept going back.
Voluntarily.
Yeah, if you're being abused somewhere and you keep going back to that place, kind of somewhat of your fault, right? If you're not being threatened, if they didn't say "come here, we're going to kill you," and she did never.
If you were just going back home to her middle class,
wherever,
peaceful,
maybe lower
parents,
class,
and being like, "Hey,
with a lot more money
I'm
in
a
pocket.
prostitute."
No, I don't think she told her parents that.
I'm going on this plane next Saturday.
I don't know what her parents thought. I don't know how present they were in her life. But she had somewhere else to go. She wasn't there full-time, I don't think. She was traveling with him, regularly, so she was there often, but that might have been like closer when she was 17. I think she started with him when she was like 15 or whatever. So, I mean, she went with this guy for years. And
starting a modeling career.
She looked
unquote.
Plenty happy in the photo with Prince Andrew. So, they didn't have a gun to this girl's head.
How do you don't know that either?
She didn't say that she was under threat. At no point in all of the interviews this girl did, because we followed the case here on Free Talk Live. It was big news last year, right? If she were being threatened, why wouldn't she come out and say that? The only reason I went back to that man's house was because they said they were going to kill my sister. Well, they didn't. The reason she went back was because she was getting paid. She got to fly places. She got to experience different things or whatever. For whatever reason, she was into it at that time. And maybe she didn't get enough money, and that's why she's after him. Because there have been hundreds of girls, allegedly, that this man has had sex with, but only a few dozen have been identified, as victims.
Or she had a change of heart. Someone later in life said, no, he totally victimized
He abused you.
There's total child abuse.
Yeah.
How could you not have seen that?
Yeah.
And she said, no, I was getting paid and I enjoyed myself.
You just believe that everybody on the island was just free to leave.
I don't know much about the island. Are you talking about the U.S. Virgin Islands?
Jeffrey
I'm talking about the Virgin
Islands.
Islands, the house?
Yes.
There? I haven't heard specific allegations about that, but nobody has said that they were kept against their will.
Yeah, none of the whistleblowers that came out, like Ian said for the interviews, had said that they were being threatened or in any way forced to be there.
Never heard that allegation. And again, they're trying to drag this guy through the mud, so you would think that if somebody was willing to make that allegation, the press would have blown that all across the headlines.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't seem like he needed to be drugged too much. He seems pretty happy to go.
Sex with 12-year-olds and 14-year-olds is enough to drag you through the mud.
No, but again, if he was holding people against their will, why wouldn't that be made public?
If you have a building full of 12 and 14-year-olds who you as a grown man are, quote, having sex with, you're not... You're holding them against their will. A 12-year-old is not just
okay,
like,
but
hey,
again,
I think
the 12-year-olds
were bang millionaires.
Just to be clear, the 12-year-olds were only an allegation by one accuser. So there's no actual evidence for that. It's just hearsay. It's just what somebody claimed about him. The other people were 14, 15, 16, 17 years old.
Who, when came out to tell their story, did not make the claim that they were held against their will.
No one has ever said they were held against their will. So
you can believe they were held against their will, but they themselves
are not.
I'm believing that the dude with the island full of underage girls, like young teens.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm believing that he was committing human trafficking. Yeah, I am.
Well, you can think human trafficking, but the quote unquote victims of that would disagree with you.
Maybe
because
they
they're
just
not being
didn't
held
feel
against...
like they had to spell it out that much. Maybe they just thought like if they would say like, "Hey, I was 14. This dude kept trying to sleep with me. He was keeping me on his island." They thought that was enough.
It doesn't work that way, right? Like, he would have to attract them to go to the island in the first place, unless you're saying he kidnapped them, which, again, those allegations were never made. Nobody ever said that he kidnapped them and took them to the island. He had young girls, teenage girls, come to his home in Palm Beach or in New Mexico or wherever, but
the
it was
term
usually
grooming
about Palm
is
Beach.
thrown around, and I can accept grooming, right? Like preparing them for that type of lifestyle.
Okay. Fine.
Yeah.
And paying them.
And
as well for that lifestyle.
Well, I mean,
and inviting
we'll
them
never
back.
see all the evidence because he's dead, so there won't be a trial.
Nope,
I don't
there
see
won't be.
any
But the
way
victims can
how
come out and make the
he's
claim.
innocent.
Innocent of what?
Of rape. Or of human
Okay,
trafficking.
well, there have been some allegations about rape. Now, there have been those. Some of these girls said that they were raped by him.
Okay,
Now,
well, yes, this is the main problem.
But again,
the rape and the human trafficking.
If you come back to this man's house after he's already taken his pants off in front of you and asked you to touch him in certain places
or raped her
and paid you or whatever, and then you come back and then you claim that he raped you, I mean, I'm not saying that makes it okay, but why would you come back in that circumstance?
Abused 14-year-olds tend to not make the most high-level cognitive decisions.
Okay.
Right, but looking back on their time, right, why not come clean about the actual situation now?
If they were being held against their will, they should have said it. I think they would have if they were being held against their will, but they couldn't make that claim because it wasn't true. Maybe they were all messed up in the head or whatever, but it sounded to me like nobody was threatening them to get them to be there, that they were there because they were getting paid. Now, whether that's taking advantage of a young girl or not, that's a whole other question. I think some of them would absolutely be able to make the decision that they want to get paid for that sort of work.
Okay, if we're talking about 16 and 17-year-olds, yes.
14 and 15 and 16 and 17-year-olds, yeah.
No.
No. So 16-year-olds can make a decision about sex work, but 15-year-olds can't?
Oh, now
14-year-olds can't.
Now we get to the arbitrary line of where we draw it.
So you can join us here. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE. Again, if he was accused of holding people against their will or threatening, because usually when you talk about sex trafficking, somebody's being threatened. It's not, oh, hey, let's pay you to come here and do these things.
Or drugged even.
Or drugged or whatever. It's, look, you come here and do this, or we're going to kill your mom. That's one of the ways they do it, right? Like if they're holding somebody against their will.
Or if you're rich,
hey,
you could just fly them to island and not take them back.
But they went back,
they would say
and then
that.
they went back again.
Yeah, but then they would say, "Oh my God, he didn't let me leave the island. I was trapped there." No one ever said that. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. We didn't hear a story about them coming to the island and rescuing like 10 girls from the island. That didn't happen either.
I don't trust the FBI to rescue people from the island.
855-450-FREE, like freedom. Hour 3's next.
Don't miss this year's LibertyCon with great speakers like Whole Foods CEO John Mackey, Congressman Justin Amash, and Nobel Prize winner Vernon Smith. Attend 2 spectacular debates. Is government necessary, and does capitalism require government intervention? Network with over 70 pro-liberty organizations. This and a whole lot more. April the 3rd through the 5th in Washington, D.C. Visit LibertyCon.com and use code FTL for a $10 discount on LibertyCon.com. Free Talk Live is now on more than 200 radio stations nationwide. We've had more than 18 million podcast downloads, and we claim millions of listens a month. We're a multimedia ad venue with print, email, web, and terrestrial radio marketing platforms. We strive to have ad packages that cater to advertisers big and small. Contact me today at marketfreetalklive.com to see what we can do for you. Marketfreetalklive.com. If you're a local advertiser, contact this station. But if you can service a national audience, contact me, marketfreetalklive.com.
Are you a cryptocurrency advocate? The Crypto Tip is the ideal outreach tool to help new people discover cryptocurrency. It's a printable business card-sized tip that you can give to service providers, preferably in addition to a good cash tip. When the server scans the QR code, it'll bring up an explanation of cryptocurrency, how to install a wallet, and allow them to claim the tip. If they don't claim the crypto, you get your tip refunded to you after a time period you specify. Plus, if they do claim the tip, you get an email alert. Create as many tips as you want at cryptotip.org. That's cryptotip.org. There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and our main feed that includes everything. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 3 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with the SNLS Network and listeners like you. Online at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,622, silver at $18.41, and Bitcoin is trading around $9,611. Today's gold, silver, and Bitcoin prices are brought to you by Brave Botanicals, high-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven. The Liberty Beat and Brave Botanicals believe so strongly in the power of kratom, we're giving it away for free. Just go to libertybeat.news/free kratom. This is the Liberty Beat at snlsnetwork.com. In the news, longtime Donald Trump ally Roger Stone was sentenced Thursday afternoon to 40 months in prison. News to Share was there and captured video of Stone entering and exiting the courthouse, as well as his supporters and protesters. A few members of the right-wing group, the Proud Boys, of which Stone is an honorary member, showed up at court to support him. Claude Taylor, a prominent anti-Trump activist, inflated a giant rat in front of the courthouse. As press awaited the recently sentenced Stone to exit the courthouse, right-wing journalist Owen Schroyer began yelling at journalists. Stone exited the courthouse and departed in a black SUV with a grin, but without making any statement. Late last year, Stone was convicted of 1 count of obstructing a proceeding, 5 counts of making false statements to Congress, and 1 count of witness tampering in the Mueller probe.
Ever wonder where we find all the news to report right here on the Liberty Beat? Visit snls.news to get the world's most censored media published all in one place. Save yourself from the endless time spent searching for reliable alternative media. SNLS News makes it quick and easy. No ads, no clickbait, just raw headlines, 24 hours a day. Visit snls.news and get informed today without the corporate media spin.
Your news now continues. A new study published in the prestigious medical journal, The Lancet, has calculated that a switch to a Medicare for All healthcare system would save the United States over 68,000 lives and over $450 billion each year. The report's team, headed by Dr. Allison P. Galvani of Yale University, concluded that the shift to single-payer healthcare would provide the greatest relief to lower-income households and reduce overall health spending by 13%. Minpress News reports that Improving the Prognosis of Healthcare in the USA, the title of the report, makes a number of basic calculations based on existing figures that show the difference in cost between private healthcare and the Medicare system in place for those aged 65 or over. It finds that there are huge cost savings that can be made by switching to socialized healthcare. A federal judge dismissed the claims of Houston residents seeking to hold the government liable for flooding their homes with Hurricane Harvey stormwater released from 2 dams, finding there is no constitutional right to perfect flood control. Activist Post reports U.S. Court of Federal Claims Judge Lawrence Smith's order on Tuesday came the same day the WeatherWise magazine published a study naming Hurricane Harvey the most extreme storm of the 2010s, responsible for $108 billion in property damage and 82 deaths. Harvey stalled over the Houston area for 4 days in August 2017, swamping neighborhoods and freeways and forcing people to evacuate in chest-deep water as first responders and Good Samaritans rescued others in boats, and Coast Guard crews threw down rope ladders from helicopters for those who had climbed onto their roofs to escape the rising water.
Support for the Liberty Beat is brought to you by the Homestead Guru. The Homestead Guru is an educational website offering tips, tools, news, stories, and commentary on everything homesteading. Topics include green homes, gardening, animal husbandry, do-it-yourself, home remedies, alternative energy, survivalism, unschooling, and more. Those details are found online at thehomestead.guru. This is the Liberty Beat, powered by the SNLS Network at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
You're putting your name, address, credit card number, social security number, all that, you're just chucking it right up onto the internet where any disgusting degenerate can grab it? The only way to make sure that your identity is never stolen is to change it every 3 years. That's what I do. 2 years ago, I was Ellen Foxcroft, attorney at law. 3 years before that, I was Trish Homingwood, patient at the Austin State Psychiatric Hospital. And 3 years before that, I was Regina Dupree, lead singer of the soul group Derriere. And you know what? None of my identities has ever been stolen. So to make sure that your personal information stays safe, you gotta follow some simple steps. First, you're gonna need new pieces of identification, right? But don't worry, old Shelby knows a guy up in Detroit, can fix these up pronto, real cheap. Next, you're gonna have to fake your own death. But all that takes is a mold of your teeth, a corpse, and a $500 used car for setting on fire.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
It's Free Talk Live. You can bring up what you want here. The toll-free number is 855-450. Free like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. We have the Discord call-in line rooms at Discord. .lrn.fm. Also, you can bring up whatever's on your mind. That's the point here on Free Talk Live. Joining you in the studio tonight, it's Ian.
Richie Rich.
And Melanie.
As we continue, you can take control of the airwaves, but let's get back into the story, Melanie, that you brought up earlier tonight. It was the first hour of the show for listeners just tuning in from Vice magazine at vice.com. A story, and actually it's a piece about somebody who is an author. So not the writer of this piece at Vice, but they're writing about an author
of extreme feminism or whatever kind of feminism they want to call it.
And this author is against the idea of families.
Yeah, she wrote a book called Surrogacy Now, and she's opposed to families as a concept.
Okay.
So
tell me more.
It continues, at this point, surrogacy becomes somewhat metaphorical. Lewis isn't asking that we all agree to physically gestate fetuses that aren't biologically ours. Her radical proposition is that we embrace, quote, full surrogacy by abolishing the family. That means caring for each other, not in discrete private units, also known as nuclear households, but rather within larger systems of care that can provide us with the love and support that we can't always get from blood relations, something Lewis knows all too well.
What does that mean? A larger system of care, not private households.
Well, it takes a village to raise a child.
Yeah, well, that's what they're getting at, right? But what is it?
Except that, society itself. So they are under the odd impression that just random people are going to care for you as much as your actual family and even friends.
That's a hard proposition.
That's a job for Jeffrey Epstein. That's the kind of thing. That's the kind of person who would be attracted to that sort of position, right?
Oh, yeah. Oh, you need help with the surrogate of your child? Mm-hmm. Give them to me. I handle many on the island.
So he's saying every child should be born by she, the author here, is saying every child should be born by a surrogate mom.
No. So you would still presumably be having your own kids, but then
I thought she said go all surrogate.
Yeah, but then it said it becomes somewhat metaphorical.
Okay.
She's not saying like literally everybody go to the IFV lab and everybody will just be lab babies.
I thought that's what it was
saying.
Okay.
It's society's kid.
Right, so you would have your own kid, but then you wouldn't keep it in a home that you lived in. It would be in some sort of a system, is what she's saying.
They don't go into like what the buildings would look like at that point, but it wouldn't be your kid, it would be society's kid. Mm-hmm. So you would get paid to raise it, or somebody else would get paid to raise it, or maybe it would be assigned to somebody else.
I almost feel like the state feels that way now.
You'd get paid to be pregnant.
They definitely feel that way now. They take control of your children as soon as they can.
Yeah, it's the child belongs to the state. You are just charged with its care.
Well, you can usually avoid most of that, though.
All right, tell me more.
Even those of us who might call our family situations already relatively happy is in quotation marks for some reason.
Because no family is truly happy.
I mean, if you're talking about 100% happiness 100% of the time, nothing is truly happy. Should sign on to this project of demolishing their essential structure, Lewis says. Nuclear households create the infrastructure for capitalism, passing wealth and property down family trees, concentrating it in the hands of the few at the top of our class hierarchy. Maintaining the traditional family structure over time has also meant exploiting people of color and disowning queer children. So
now the truth comes out.
There's nothing in having a family and actually take caring of it that says you have to disown your non-straight children.
This is anti-capitalist propaganda using the for the sake of the child argument to get to make its point.
And so, yeah, basically, people, if they're supporting their own families, will go out and seek resources through jobs. And this is a major problem for her.
Heaven forbid you work to support people you care about.
Well, she had said that she doesn't like work earlier, right?
But she thinks somebody's going to work and not get the money. It's the weird thing. It's like, if people aren't producing enough now, when they actually get paid,
how much will they produce when they don't get paid?
Why will you work just to be like, well, it's society?
It's for the good of society.
Like, no.
This is the communist dream, right?
I wonder how much her book cost. She's giving it out for free?
Great point. What was the book called?
Surrogacy Now.
Okay.
There you go.
Let's find out. And?
Lewis isn't concerned with incremental changes within our existing systems full surrogacy now, for example, doesn't make any concrete policy proposals or spend time worrying over issues like the gender pay gap and paid family leave. She's concerned with much bolder possibilities in Lewis's utopian future. It's not very utopian to me. The family as we know it no longer exists. Everyone, regardless of gender, is a surrogate. We mother each other.
I mean, okay.
Yeah, so she's the bad cop of the leftism, basically.
I guess on a grand scale, I can maybe hear the argument being made that we should all be kind to each other and care for each other as a society beyond familial relationships, right?
Okay, so you should have friends, and then beyond that, if it's
but
like
not just friends, the stranger on the street.
Okay, so if it's like all else being equal and somebody else needs help out and it doesn't hurt me, yeah, then I should do it. But if you're just like a random 60-year-old I have no affiliation with,
you should still help out of the kindness and the goodness of your heart.
Well, no, because if I'm helping, like, resources are limited, even under communism, even under full communism, and even if everyone complies, resources are still limited.
True.
So if I give $500 a month to some random person who didn't save, that's $500 a month I can't do something else with.
That's true, but then when you're on the other end of that spectrum, because of the kindness of society...
don't be on the other end of that spectrum.
Well, but if you keep giving out your money, you're going to be.
The other end of that spectrum should be limited to people who had things happen outside of their control. And I think if we limit it to that, then society could actually bear that cost without damaging itself.
So Medicare for all, then?
No. How is that out of your control?
Oh, because if you have a tragic accident of some kind that was out of your control, or you get befallen an illness that you can't afford, the more people bearing that cost would decrease the cost for every individual.
I know that there are jurisdictions where this is not the case, but generally it's not outside of your control to buy health insurance.
That's true, but if everyone's bearing the cost, you don't have to buy it. If everyone just...
Well, no, because... That's just not the case. But if we're talking
there's
about
mutualism where people can voluntarily bear the cost of health care for their neighbors, and then there's communism where they've got a gun to their head.
Sure.
And then now you have no price signals for health care.
Well, but it doesn't matter because again, in this utopia, you just when you need health care, you go to the person providing it, and out of the goodness of their heart, they provide it for you because everyone in society just provides for each other.
That's the fantasy of communism.
In these fantasies, pictures themselves as a doctor or an artist or something pleasant. No one pictures themselves as a farmer or a garbage man or anything that you would need on a day-to-day basis.
Maybe. Sure. I'm just saying, the whole, like, be kind to each other, disperse the cost. Like, I get the ideas of communism, but I don't see that as a negative goal, more so the mechanism that they would normally use to achieve that, which is forcing everybody into it, is a poor mechanism to achieve that goal.
There's a difference between being kind to everyone and paying for everyone else's bills. Those are two different things. Like, yeah, if you're in traffic, don't cut somebody off because there's no reason to.
One of the issues...
Also, don't pay their rent.
When things are free is that people overuse them, right? So if you can go and get something for free, you're going to go and get more of it because it costs you nothing. And
to an extent.
And that's true when it comes to people's time. So if healthcare is free, then a bunch of people are going to be lining up around the block to get free healthcare because it doesn't cost them anything but the time to sit there and wait for it. Whereas the doctor is loaded up with work. He's never able to stop because there's constantly people who want his attention, even though they don't really need it. So setting a price allows the market to kind of decide what's actually necessary.
I think there's like a critical mass point when it comes to getting free stuff, where at first you may overuse it, but at some point you go like, no, I've got enough of this.
That's literally how a supply and demand curve works. If you lower the price to zero, the demand goes up.
We got more coming up here.
But
855
not to infinity.
450 free 855-450-3733. This is Free Talk Live.
Does your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy? Come to Dynovite for help.
Order a 90-day supply of Dynovite.
Everything we tried failed except the Dynovite.
Pick up 2 bottles of Super Mega Fish Oil.
Get the 3rd bottle free. Packed with omega-3, DHA, and EPA fatty acids.
Super Mega is great for your dog's immune system, healthy skin, and soft, shiny fur.
Dogs love it. Try Super Omega Fish Oil.
Buy 2, get 1 free.
At Dynovite.com.
DI
BitcoNovite.com.
Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com.
The next generation wallet is coming from Divvy. In just a few taps, you'll be able to send, earn, spend, and exchange digital money in seconds. Send money around the globe with only a swipe. Instantly exchange between Divvy, Bitcoin, and fiat right in the mobile app, and withdraw directly to your bank account. Divvy already offers the first one-tap solution for earning passive income with crypto. Multi-tiered masternodes allow everyone to partake in the network. Visit DivvyProject.org. DivvyProject.org.
Gold has definitely been on the move recently, and there is no more secure investment historically. McAlvany ICA has been helping people take delivery of precious metals and find storage options for decades. They've helped thousands of investors with their precious metal IRAs. Call ICA today for your free portfolio review at 800-525-9556 or download their free report online at ICAGoldSilver.com to learn how you can double your gold and silver ounces even within an IRA. 800-525-9556. ICAGoldSilver.com.
This is Michael Dean from the Freedom Fiends. I've run websites since 1996 and have used over a dozen web hosts in that time. AgristHosting.com is the only one that hasn't broken my heart. Agrist Hosting's uptime and service is stellar, and their DDoS mitigation is the best I've seen. That's important because if you tell the truth in this world, you'll ruffle feathers. And some people will try dirty tricks to silence your voice. No matter what the haters hit us with, Agrist Hosting keeps our websites online. If you have a mission-critical commercial presence or a world-changing activism site, you cannot tolerate any skullduggery. So go with agristhosting.com. Have a WordPress or blog site, but you're not satisfied with performance or uptime? Or just want raw hosting? Want to pay with Bitcoin? Agrist Hosting specializes in high-performance hosting with personalized service. Go to agristhosting.com and click on the button that says Get Hosted. That's agristhosting.com.
What if you want to hear the latest episode of Free Talk Live, but all you have is your phone, you forgot to download our archive, and you have no data connection? You can call our Listen line at 641-793-0191. That's a long-distance number, so you may incur charges. If not, listen as long as you want. 641-793-0191. The Free Talk Live Listen line, 641-793-0191.
Do you want more businesses accepting Bitcoin Cash and Dash? Now with AnyPay, you earn passive income for every purchase at those businesses. Finally, a financial incentive to spread Bitcoin Cash and Dash. You made it happen, so you get the rewards. Download the AnyPay Cash Register app and add your cryptocurrency wallet addresses. Then install it at a real-life business and tell us what you did at anypayinc.com. anypayinc.com.
What's up next? Visit the Liberty Radio Network program guide to find out at shows.lrn.fm. That's shows.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live. You can bring up what you want here. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. We do have the Discord call-in line rooms over at discord.lrn.fm. Joining you in the studio tonight, it's Ian.
Richie Rich.
And Melanie.
Also, want to make sure you know about AnyPay. It is a great way to get businesses on board with accepting cryptocurrency in real life. And here's what you do. You can actually now get rewarded if you get a local business to accept cryptocurrency with AnyPay. What you do is you download the AnyPay Cash Register app. It's available on the Google or Apple app stores. You download that to your own phone and just set it up for yourself. Put your own cryptocurrency wallet addresses in, set up an account, and then You sign your local business up with AnyPay, get them installed with the AnyPay cash register app, get them set up, and then let AnyPay know what you've done over at AnyPayInc.com. That's AnyPayInc.com. You'll become an AnyPay ambassador, where you'll earn passive income for every purchase in Dash and Bitcoin Cash at those businesses that you brought on board. So,
how does that let them know work? Is there a form on the website?
I think you just have to use an email, contact them, and whatever. I think they also have a Telegram chat, so that might work
like,
as well.
I set up this business. Here's my wallet address for the commission.
Well, you won't have to give them the address. You give them your email address, and then they'll know because you used your email to sign up for the account. So AnyPayInc.com. As we continue here, of course, you can bring up anything that you want. We've been talking about this story out of Vice magazine about how the woman who's the author of this book called Full Surrogacy Now, which, by the way, I did look it up, Richie. She wants $21.56. So
that's outrageous.
Apparently, she hasn't fully embraced communism yet, and hasn't decided to give away her book.
Good Lord, that's a lot of money.
But you can get the digital version for $9.99.
Okay,
so ebook version of that if you want to read this communist tripe. But Melanie, you've been sharing the story, which is sympathetic. The story at Vice to the author here. Saying that she wants everyone to be a surrogate, although you say that doesn't mean you couldn't have your own child. It's just that that would mean.
That's what she said. I mean, this is not none of this is mine.
Okay, but you're the one who's read it, so I presume you know a little more about it than I do. But so she's saying you could still have your own child, but then it wouldn't belong to you. You would just be having it for the community, who would then be taking care of it.
Everyone would be responsible for taking care of everyone else, and it would be this like equality of caretaking, basically.
Like dropping them off at school and letting them in the hands of the teacher for 6 hours a day.
Well, right now that's voluntary.
Okay.
You can just not do that, at least in the States.
All right. So what else do we need to know about this?
Yeah. So then basically she goes on. This arrangement that she wants to have set up is because she thinks that caretaking is a unpaid and inequitable job that falls on women, and it's why women can't have these careers, and it's why women can't. She says, why hasn't there been a female Mozart? Why hasn't there been a female Shakespeare? It's why women can't do all these things.
Some say Shakespeare was a female.
I have not heard that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've not heard that theory.
There's a theory about that.
That's why he writes such good love stories.
And she thinks that this would solve that, which, I mean, obviously she's wrong, but so you're not going to be if it's your friend, yes, but that's kind of a separate situation. You're not going to be as motivated to take care of a stranger. She seems to imply that like whoever happens to be living closest to her mother in the UK should have been taking care of her instead of her, which would leave her mother without her kids, her without her mother, and then some stranger having to take care of some stranger. None of this is going to solve her problem, which is she's kind of trying to do two jobs at once.
It kind of would solve her problem, right? Because if a stranger was taking care of her mother, she would then be free of that burden and could actively pursue her career as an author.
Right, but presumably she actually wanted to see her mother because she's like paying plane tickets and keep going there and doing it.
Yeah.
So
that's a little strange.
If you just hate your parents and you're like, I hope you die, then you're probably not going to go take care of them.
She's been brainwashed to feel that way towards her. What's the word? Her closest proto relative or whatever they said at the beginning.
And then,
bio relative.
Yeah, and then so. In case you didn't know, having kids was voluntary, so you could just not have a kid, and then you could be free to pursue this career that you seemingly want to pursue. So we've had solutions to all these things that have worked really well. If you want to have a family and be a mother, you can do that. If you want to have a career and pursue a career and spend all your time doing that, you can do that.
That's not always the case, though.
What's not always the case?
The freedom to pursue the career as a female, because unless you're like the entrepreneur and you're just a regular, working class, I'm going to go get a job, right? Then the case could be made that you're less likely to be hired for that job because there's still the potential that you could get pregnant and therefore not be as valuable to the organization as a male.
that problem is being caused by the state because it is highly illegal to say, you know what, I need whoever I'm going to hire for this to actually be available to do this job. So why don't you go ahead and prove that you have, like, prove your IUD status or prove your, like, tube tie status? Because you're telling me you want to be, like, CEO. So you can't raise a family. You can't be pregnant and in the hospital for 2 months.
Nope.
So why don't you go ahead and prove this to me? And then, like, either you're going to be single and you just want to have a career, or maybe you're a lesbian and your wife is going to have the kids. But, like, prove to me your infertility status. Like, your employer is so going to get sued if they even ask that.
That is true.
So they can't, you're not allowed to guarantee to your employer that, hey, I'm actually going to do this job. And
which is why they're more likely to hire a male.
Right.
Yeah. And that's just biology. They can't change that. And
You're
then
right.
B, okay, so if you're saying I am just, like, highly motivated to be a career woman and I want, XYZ career path, okay, well then you're not owed anyone else's employment position. Like, go start your own thing.
Yeah, that's why I said unless you're going to be the entrepreneur, which is difficult in and of itself.
Right, because of the government.
Right, but if you're saying this is, like, I really, really want to have a career because I'm going to be a highly successful career person, then me saying, okay, so start your own business shouldn't be this, like, insurmountable hurdle to you.
Sure.
So those two, like, saying that you don't want to do the self-employment thing is somewhat in conflict with your claim that your career is, all this important.
Well, I'm going to say it depends, because most self-employed individuals aren't the big, multi-million-dollar making CEOs.
Most people aren't either. So it's also this weird delusion that, like, all women are going to be in, like, the top 10% of career earners, which is just not the case due to the fact that they're 50% of the population. So they're kind of ruled out by basic math there. Like, most women are going to have average jobs because by definition, most people are going to have median jobs.
There's more coming up here. 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. And according to the summary here of the book, it does say that she wants to see more surrogacy rather than less. So, I mean, the book's title is Full Surrogacy Now. I think that's the direction she wants to go. Not that she would prohibit you from having a baby, but maybe she would.
I can definitely say that I have found the best cryptocurrency wallet. Certainly the best named one. I'm Mark Edge, and I love the Edge wallet. I've been using it for the last few months. You can buy, sell, trade, and hold your cryptocurrency securely. I trust my holdings of all the major cryptocurrencies to Edge wallet, and you should too. No long phrases to memorize, just a username and password. Secure your freedom with Edge wallet. Get it now on Apple or Android in the App Store or at edge.app. Don't miss this year's LibertyCon with great speakers like Whole Foods CEO John Mackey, Congressman Justin Amash, and Nobel Prize winner Vernon Smith. Attend 2 spectacular debates. Is government necessary, and does capitalism require government intervention? Network with over 70 pro-liberty organizations. This and a whole lot more. April the 3rd through the 5th in Washington, D.C. Visit libertycon.com and use code FTL for a $10 discount on libertycon.com.
We have some good news. The indictments against Ross Ulbricht in the District of Maryland were dismissed with prejudice, meaning they can never be refiled. This is especially good because those indictments contain the only charge ever made that Ross engaged in murder for hire. This was a serious allegation that Ross Ulbricht denies. It was never prosecuted or ruled on by a jury, but was trumpeted by the federal government and the media as if it were proven fact. The Maryland court held these indictments for almost 5 years, poisoning Ross's case and leaving him under a cloud of unproven allegations. As explained in Ross's appeal to the Supreme Court, the fact that the judge used these allegations to give Ross a draconian sentence of double life without parole violated his Sixth Amendment right to a jury trial. Judges are required to issue sentences based on convictions decided by a jury, not unproven allegations never even charged at trial. Although this is a positive development, the dropped indictment will not set Ross free. Now, a presidential pardon is Ross's only hope of freedom. Sign the petition at freeross.org. freeross.org.
Are you tired of your taxes funding endless occupations around the world? Antiwar.com is run by people who understand that wars abroad become wars at home, wars on our freedoms. Antiwar.com is dedicated to bringing you the latest in news, views, interviews, and reviews from the top movers and shakers in the anti-occupation movement. Antiwar.com has it all, from thorough foreign policy analysis to interviews with whistleblowers who used to run the military-industrial complex. Anti-war, pro-free market. That's antiwar.com.
Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get one free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
Welcome back to the ONN Presidential Democrat Kiosk Debate. If you're just tuning in, tonight, in an historic first, Americans can ask any question at any time just by stepping into one of the thousands of Democrat kiosks we've placed in front of 7-Elevens across the country. Decatur, Illinois, let your voice be heard.
Hi, everybody. My name's Joe Crawford, and my question is, how many taco and cheese taquitos do you think I can eat in 60 seconds?
Kevin, have we screened all of these? We haven't? But we can? We can't. Great. Straight from the heart of America, raw and unfiltered, Rockville, Maryland, to Boulder, Colorado.
This is the most powerful sword in the planet.
So we really can't screen these things, Kevin? Not at all. Okay, then I think I'll just ask a question of my own. What's that? Okay, no, I won't. Austin, Texas.
This is the Onion News Network.
Join the LRN.FM Discord for live chat 24/7 at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live. You bring up what you want, take control of the airwaves. Our number is 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. And you can join us online over at freetalklive.com. On our Discord server as well at discord.lrn.fm. Joining you tonight, it's Ian.
Richie Rich.
And Melanie.
We can talk more about commies and the family coming up here in a moment. But first, I do want to make sure you know about the new book that is available for free to you, the CFO Project. It's called The Family Money Farm, the CFO Project. You can get your free copy at cfo-project.com. It's Tom Young, the author and founder of the CFO Project, and he can show you how to be debt-free in 9 years or less, including your mortgage, without spending a single dollar more. With the current state of federal debt at $23 trillion and the unfunded liabilities at $127 trillion, you can't wait to take control of your money. Don't let your retirement savings be used to bail out the government. So Tom can show you how to create strategies now to save money without penalties and as little government involvement as possible. The new book, The Family Money Farm, the CFO Project, will show you exactly how to build wealth and eliminate debt at the same time. You can get your free copy at cfo-project.com. Invest in yourself and your family today. That's cfo-project.com. We go to Uganda, where Mwesige is on the line with us. Mwesige, thanks for calling in tonight. I know you tried last night, but it was a bad internet connection. You moved to your office tonight, and it's sounding a lot better, so welcome.
Thank you, Ian, for this wonderful opportunity to talk to the community of libertarians.
Thank you for staying up late. What time is it there in Uganda?
It is early in the morning at 5:35.
5:35 in the morning.
People do get up that early.
Yes. Yes.
So what were you calling to share with
People
us tonight?
I've called to say about liberty in Uganda and actually what exactly we do about promoting liberty.
Okay, promoting liberty. All right, I like that.
Yes, please.
Go ahead. You're on the air.
So, yeah, I'm called Mwesige Jerome. I'm the Administrative Officer, Action for Liberty and Economic Development. Action for Liberty and Economic Development is a libertarian think tank which promotes ideas of libertarianism.
In Uganda specifically?
Yes, please.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
We promote limited government, individual liberty, property rights, and free market.
Excellent.
And rule of law. Yeah, we do this through conferences, camps, media briefing, and social media.
How's the reception?
And our biggest audience are students and young people.
Nice.
Great.
From various regions of this country.
So how's the reception to the ideas in Uganda when you pitch them and tell people about the ideas of liberty?
The reception about liberty, of course, Uganda is a kind of country that is socialist, and the government, of course, is all about power, not serving people. Of course, when the government is about power, the liberty, people's liberty is always infringed on.
Yep.
So when people they always want to get out of that situation where government is standing in their lives. So when some young people, of course, are receptive to the ideas of a free society.
I'm so glad to hear that. That's nice to know. So what's your story, Mwasige? How did you become where you are today? How did you become liberty-minded? Oh no. It was going so good.
In government, man.
It was going so good. Happen. We lost a few of your packets there. Can you say that again? Shoot. It's gone bad. It's gone real bad. Oh man, it was an interesting. Yes, sir. Oh, we have you. I think we have you back. Go ahead.
You have me back?
Yep, we have you back. So what's your story?
Yes, I became an activist in 2014 when I joined the university. By then, I was an ardent socialist. Of course, I didn't know there is that kind of liberty someone should advocate for.
So you were in college. You were an ardent socialist in college. What was it that
in Uganda, or was he studying abroad?
Yes, in Uganda. I didn't know that I was actually a socialist, but I was acting for a kind of like a welfare state.
Mm-hmm.
Collectivism kind of things in public goods. When I don't know who produced those things and how the wealth of the nation is created and is created by who. When I encountered the Student for Liberty in 2014, my perception about the kind of liberty I should advocate for changed dramatically when I started reading literature about the economics and ideas related to libertarianism.
So as the Students for Liberty,
that's impressive,
in Uganda that you encountered, where did you meet these folks? Was it just randomly on the college campus? How did that happen?
Yes, at that time they visited. There is a gentleman from Nigeria who introduced it to Uganda, who is one of the activists in Uganda who had assumed the leadership of the university, who was an activist, Mugabe John. When they introduced it, so they invited me actually to attend as an activist. I was actually from the prison then because we had taken pigs to parliament to demonstrate against the greedy parliament. So they invited me to attend. And dramatically, I saw things changing, and what exactly I was advocating for. Of course, I changed. I started to advocate for individual liberty instead of advocating for what the government wanted. Of course, the government wanted a kind of socialist, a kind of socialist system. So I went back and started zeroing down to read and also look at an individual as an epitome of the society. Yeah.
There is a bit of a language barrier here between, I couldn't quite understand all of what you said, and it may also be because of the distance. But
I think I got the idea.
It sounded like you encountered the Students for Liberty while you were at college. You had been a critic of, even as a socialist, you were a critic of Parliament, but somehow they were able to convert you to understanding the ideas of individual liberty, and that's what I didn't understand.
I cannot get you well. Pardon?
He might not be hearing us now.
Yeah, maybe there's some difficulty with the connection. I'm wondering, are you going to hear you?
I can hear.
You cannot, or you can hear me? Yeah, I think our connection's gone bad, but I'm sure we'll hear from you again. Mwasige, thank you for the call tonight. I appreciate hearing from you. It's good. It's good to hear you. It is good to get an introduction from you here tonight, and I'm glad that you're out there doing what you do in Uganda. And thank you for making that phone call. Let's go all the way to the other side of the planet, where Mark Edge is on the line in Saipan. Mark, you're on Free Talk Live. Go ahead.
Oh, thank you. That was an interesting call from Sige. I wish that the packets hadn't been lost, but, that's kind of the way things go, calling from the other side of the world.
Yes.
I was listening to you guys talk about this, frankly, very interesting thought experiment this woman had as far as, surrogacy and these sorts of things. Everybody should have children that aren't their own because we need to break this paradigm called family. And I just wonder what kind of terrible thing happened in this woman's youth that made it so that she wants to destroy not just her family, but every family. There's not many things that you can sort of look at as far as humans, but one thing you can say about us is sort of certainly true is that we place a higher emphasis on the relationship that is family than sort of any other relationship.
Well, in her case, it might not have been something that happened to her as a child or in a family, because she related it more to the idea of she couldn't progress her career because the family was holding her back in some way, right? So maybe something happened in a work-related thing where she was, not given a promotion or not granted a job or didn't get the pay that she wanted.
I've never had emotional symptoms from that, though. It's like when I go to work, it's for money, and I want if I'm gonna have to have a job, I want one where I get treated well, but I don't have a relationship with my employers.
Well, that kind of jealousy of, and Mark, if you want to say more here, stand by. The jealousy that you hear from a lot of the people in the communist socialist movement of people who have more wealth than they do came out in her comments saying that certain families were wealthier and she didn't think that was fair, right? So she wants all the wealth to be pooled together to help the other kids.
Maybe she lost a promotion to an Ivy League grade.
There's more coming up here. It's Free Talk Live.
Do the letters IRS give you anxiety? I'm Dan Pilla. I've defended people from the IRS for more than 40 years. My book, How to Get Tax Amnesty, created the tax resolution industry and is responsible for helping hundreds of thousands of people. It can help you too. If you're a non-filer or facing IRS enforcement right now, your case is unique. You need real help, not cookie-cutter advice. My clients get my personal attention. Buy my book at danpilla.com and get a free consultation directly with me. That's danpilla.com. Let's start solving your tax problem right now.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control over your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank account, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problems now by calling the experts at Tax Mediation Services and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. Tax Mediation Services is accredited by the Better Business Bureau. Call now for a free case review and a price protection guaranteed quote.
Call Tax Mediation Services now at 800-301-5435. That's 800-301-5435. 800-301-5435.
This is George Norrie from Coast to Coast AM and History Channel's Ancient Aliens. We support the amazing energy, nutrition, and skincare products from Jeunesse. Jeunesse products are designed by leading doctors in their field with natural ingredients and even stem cell technology. These products help your body perform and look better. Shop Jeunesse at gcnlife.com or call 1-844-443-6637. gcnlife.com or 844-443-6637.
Hey guys, Mark Claire here, lionsofliberty.com, where we strive to advance the ideas of liberty daily. We bring you the Morning Roar. That's right, every Monday to Friday we'll have a brand new edition of the Morning Roar, where we provide a roundup of some news stories that you may not find in the mainstream media or even in your typical social media newsfeed. We find stories that relate to the ideas of liberty and provide you with our liberty perspective on them. Every Monday, we have our longest-running feature, Mondays with Murray, named after the great libertarian Murray Rothbard, where we'll examine an article or an excerpt from his works and help convey his view, along with our little spin as well. We wrap it all up every Friday with Felony Friday, where our own John Odermatt goes out and takes a look at some sort of felony. There's felonies committed every day, you know, whether it's a felony committed by the police, a politician, or even an average citizen. You can find all of this and so much more over at lionsofliberty.com. FreeTalkLive.com, advancing the ideas of liberty daily.
So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM. Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com.
Live video of our Keene, New Hampshire-based shows is streamed on DLive. Please follow and share at dlive.lrn.fm. That's dlive.lrn.fm.
Yeah, it's Free Talk Live. You bring up anything you want here. In the remaining moments, we may have time to get you on if you dial in now. Our number 855-450-FREE. By the way, Musige is the guy who was on the phone earlier on our Discord server, is in the Discord chat right now. So if you want to talk to him directly, it's obviously easier to talk over text from Uganda than it is
hard to drop a packet.
Yeah, exactly. The text is going to make it through. So folks are over there right now at the Discord server at discord.lrn.fm. Hey, don't forget to check out more of Richie on his show, The Anarchist Experience.
Anarchistexperience.com.
You had Ken Schoolin on recently?
We did. I talked to Ken yesterday when we recorded the podcast, and I may have convinced him to forego voting in the national election.
Well, that'll shut it all down. Congratulations.
It's impressive because he's a hardcore voter, man. And he bought into the argument that I presented.
All right, you can hear that for yourself at the Anarchist Experience. Go download the podcast episodes at anarchistexperience.com. As we go back to your calls and thoughts here, Mark Edge, our co-host in the Mariana Islands, calling us from Saipan tonight, comments on the story that basically has been our only story that we've covered here tonight, this commie who wrote a book called Full Surrogacy Now. You okay there, Mark? Did you just kill a mouse? What was that?
It's a native.
The window that I was opening, I knew I shouldn't have done it.
Okay. Anyway, go ahead. What about the commies?
Right now, I'm thinking I want to hear Richie Rich's argument that I shouldn't be voting. For God's sake!
Oh no, we don't need to rehash that.
No, go listen to the podcast. Anarchistexperience.com.
We're not going to.
You should bring me on so that you can convince me, Richie.
Okay.
You want to have you mean you think he should bring you on to the Anarchist Experience? That's what you're saying.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah,
Mark is inviting himself.
I'll reach out to you.
Okay. Very good. That's always an awkward thing. I think you should bring me on your show. Okay. Well.
Hey, Kokesh gave me the same invitation. Ran it by the co-host. Said no.
Cool. All right. Go ahead.
I'm curious about this lady and her surrogacy thing. I think I really do think she came up with an idea that hasn't really been proffered very much. And I love unique ideas.
Well, no, this idea is all throughout communist dystopian literature, and it's alluded to in the Communist Manifesto.
Yeah, it's also in Huxley's Brave New World, but I mean, I haven't heard anybody talk about it in a long time. The idea that people, having other people's children and all that stuff. And because one of the things it asks this question, right? So if I have somebody else's, if my family has somebody else's child, we give it up, right? Or do we keep it and raise it?
I would think it would be raised by society. So it's not like you have it and then it's yours to keep. It's that you're the temporary surrogate for whatever role you perform at that time.
Well, I think the idea is to get rid of just those statuses. She doesn't go into this in the article. I don't know if she does in the book or not, or at least she's not quoted as going into because she didn't write this article. But I don't think it's about like IFV babies and adoption. It's about just destroying the concept of a family. So it's just society being at the end of the day, she wants to get paid for being pregnant and having kids, which there's a way to do that, by the way, but
hire a big strong man.
She doesn't like that way. So she thinks that she's doing society a favor by having a kid, so she wants to be paid by society. But then
she may be right that she's doing society a favor. I don't know. Society's poorly represented by this organization known as government. And she's certainly doing government a favor in creating a new tax livestock.
Well, I mean, if she's a communist, she's not doing society a favor by creating more communists, which is usually how it goes.
Communists believe that the road to communism and freedom is through taxation and socialism, at least the Marxists do. There's anarchist communists out there, people who use this term anarchist to describe themselves. They're communists that believe the path through to communism can go from right where we are today, and you don't need that other stuff. But as the case may be, I grew up in a family where I was not related to the two people that raised me. And I am here to say that those people considered me their child. And I don't think that a family is entirely a nature situation. It's also a nurture situation. So this article made me wonder sort of who else in my life do I think of as family? Would I take care of if they were ill? Would I give money to the way I would give money to my wife? Like if my wife needs money, I don't say you're going to have to pay it back or anything like that. There's simply no accounting. Like we have a pool of money and she takes money from that pool. And
I'm sure this woman wants to get rid of money as well. I mean, we just didn't get that far in her book or whatever.
But money is a stand-in for previous labor. So, but she resources seems to not of any kind either. What's that?
Well, yeah, I mean,
resources of any kind.
Of course, the commie doesn't like work and doesn't like money. I mean, these are typical views of the communist, right?
They are. Yeah. Communists. The reason we're pretty well off is they are lazy. The socialists, on the other hand, they get jobs in the government because that's what they totally believe in.
And
so
you do the job the government gives you.
Well, yes, but they'll do the jobs they want to do within the government and then assign you your jobs because you didn't get in early enough or whatever their thoughts are.
Mark, any other thoughts?
I do think that yes. I think that everybody should sort of ask themselves, what distinguishes your relationship between your family and just ordinary people out there? What makes you, love them the way you do? Is it time? Is it, biological? What is it? So that's my question.
Thanks for the call tonight. Appreciate it. Let's talk to Hank. He's in Ocala, Florida. Says he's listening on 97.3 The Sky, which is, to my knowledge, not an affiliate. Are you actually listening on the radio, Hank?
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
I'm sorry, I may have tuned to the other station, 96.3.
96.3, all right.
I just realized that.
I didn't even know that we were on that one either, so good to know. Whichever one we're on, it's nice to know.
208.
It's nice to know we're on in Ocala. All right, Hank, what's on your mind tonight?
Okay, yeah, I was getting you on 96.3.
96.3, all right.
I just don't understand this fascination with the young people and the socialism. I mean, this country's founded on capitalism. I'm a small businessman, been an entrepreneur all my life, never made a fortune, barely sometimes feed myself. But as I got older, I learned how to make enough to eat pretty good. But I mean,
let me take a stab at answering that question because I seen an argument for it, and I'm not convinced that it's a good thing, but I hear the argument. So the young people today see what the argument that I saw called boomer socialism. Right, they see the older generation get the free things. Right, they're on Medicare, so they have free health care or cheap health care. They're on Social Security, so they have universal basic income. Basically, they get a check for not doing any work. And yet they've established themselves in the world. That they own their homes, they own their property. They don't have any debts left because they're old. And the younger generation goes like, well, how come socialism is okay for the older generation with healthcare, with finances, with property, and it's not okay with the younger generation?
I'm not to that age that I collect any benefits yet, and there's a lot of people that don't collect the benefits. There's a lot of people that never live to collect those benefits, because I know the closer I get to my, what they call older years or retirement age, a lot of my friends are passing away really fast, and they'll never live to get a penny off Social Security or a penny off.
Sure.
But it's
Which is even more sad because they paid into it for so long.
Capitalism is the freedom. Without capitalism, we don't have companies like SpaceX. We don't have Apple. Why do you think these companies don't exist nowhere else in the world? Because there ain't no freedom.
Well, Hank, I
that.
like the free market. Personally, that's what I'm all about. I like freedom. I think that you should be free to do what you want as long as you don't harm somebody else. And so if that's be a capitalist, then I think you should be free to be a capitalist. I think that's great. I think if somebody wants to go and start a commune, they should be able to do that as long as that's a voluntary, consensual thing. They're not forcing anyone in to do it. But I'd like to answer your question that you called in with. From my perspective, don't forget, the government runs the schools. And most of these teachers are socialists.
Oh, I'm well aware of that.
Yeah, so that's where this comes from. A lot of these young people are being indoctrinated, Hank, by socialists into socialism. They're kids, so they don't have any experience in the real world. They don't know anything about reality and what running a business is like or anything like that. And they got all these politicians around them, like Bernie Sanders, promising them free stuff. They're like, yeah, I'll take a free college. I'll take free this, free that.
Why not?
Because they don't know any better. That's really the problem. And Hank, I wish we had more time. Thanks for calling in. Says he's listening to WOCA there. I'll have to give them a call and find out what's going on. Good to know we're on. See you tomorrow night online. In the meantime, freetalklive.com.
You will understand the true intent of the Founding Fathers when they wrote the Constitution if you attend this free webinar. Chris Ann Hall, president of Liberty First University, doesn't simply regurgitate what some professor or expert has said about the Constitution. She relays the thoughts and opinions of those who wrote the documents. Her straightforward, passionate, easy-to-understand style lets anyone grasp the principles of liberty. Join us at lfu.freetalklive.com to watch the free pre-recorded webinar. Watch now at lfu.freetalklive.com.
Free Talk Live is now on more than 200 radio stations nationwide. We've had more than 18 million podcast downloads, and we claim millions of listens a month. We're a multimedia ad venue with print, email, web, and terrestrial radio marketing platforms. We strive to have ad packages that cater to advertisers big and small. Contact me today at mark@freetalklive.com to see what we can do for you. mark@freetalklive.com. If you're a local advertiser, contact this station. But if you can service a national audience, contact me, mark@freetalklive.com.
Fishing.
I'm a little obsessed with My Magic Mud. Several years ago, I met Jessica Armand, the founder and CEO of My Magic Mud, and I didn't even know my teeth were coffee stained. A week's worth of use convinced me, and now I use it every 3 or 4 days. It's clinically proven to whiten teeth, and I think it cleans better, too. My Magic Mud's available at most local health food stores, Sprouts, Natural Grocers, CVS, Walmart's Natural Beauty Aisle, but I can get it for you for 20% off with coupon code FTL20 at mymagicmud.com. FTL20 mymagicmud.com.
If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com to receive our usually weekly news updates by email. Plus, we have a Twitter account at twitter.freetalklive.com, and you can follow us on the decentralized Mastodon platform at toot.freetalklive.com. So please follow us at toot.freetalklive.com and sign up for our emails at news.freetalklive.com.
This is the Liberty Radio Network, broadcasting the latest liberty-oriented audio content 24 hours a day at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with the SNLS Network and listeners like you. Online at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,622, silver at $18.41, and Bitcoin is trading around $9,611. Today's gold, silver, and Bitcoin prices are brought to you by Brave Botanicals, high-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven. The Liberty Beat and Brave Botanicals believe so strongly in the power of kratom, we're giving it away for free. Just go to libertybeat.news/freekratom. This is the Liberty Beat at snlsnetwork.com. In the news, longtime Donald Trump ally Roger Stone was sentenced Thursday afternoon to 40 months in prison. News to Share was there and captured video of Stone entering and exiting the courthouse, as well as his supporters and protesters. A few members of the right-wing group, the Proud Boys, of which Stone is an honorary member, showed up at court to support him. Claude Taylor, a prominent anti-Trump activist, inflated a giant rat in front of the courthouse. As press awaited the recently sentenced Stone to exit the courthouse, right-wing journalist Owen Schroyer began yelling at journalists. Stone exited the courthouse and departed in a black SUV with a grin, but without making any statement. Late last year, Stone was convicted of 1 count of obstructing a proceeding, 5 counts of making false statements to Congress, and 1 count of witness tampering in the Mueller probe. Ever wonder where we find all the news to report right here on the Liberty Beat? Visit snls.news to get the world's most censored media published all in one place. Save yourself from the endless time spent searching for reliable alternative media. SNLS News makes it quick and easy. No ads, no clickbait, just raw headlines, 24 hours a day. Visit snls.news and get informed today without the corporate media spin. Your news now continues. A new study published in the prestigious medical journal, The Lancet,